28.
Episode 28. Prickling 28.
Prickling 28. On the 28th of pricklings.
I don't mind that. Damn. What I got on here? Oh, shoot. What is this? Oh, did I not save this? What am I going to name this? My bad. Give me a name.
38 farts.
All right, that's the name of the beat. I'm going to spell out 38, though, because it sounds good. Oh, you think people will buy it?
Yeah.
He said it. 38 farts.
38 farts, man.
And this got a freaking suitcase piano, bass line, and some drums. Yeah, man. What's up? Episode 28 of the Producer Thoughts podcast. I'm your gracious and humble host, NappooBeats.
And I'm a motherfucking crazy ass co-host, Boris the Beast.
Co-hosting this amazing podcast that we've been bringing to you every Sunday because we do this shit every week.
We do this shit every week. That shit is exporting over here too.
Episode motherfucking 28.
I need to start uploading it for YouTube. Hell yeah, episode motherfucking 28. Because episode 27 is getting uploaded to YouTube. And we got to crop out 50 minutes at the 50-minute point. That's the funny part. I was telling my mom about that shit. I was like, dang, like, you know, like, if I just try to remember where the fuck shit is, I couldn't remember it, you know what I mean? Like, where to cut shit out. But, like, since we made it a point that time, it's like, oh, where we at? Like, I seen it in my mind that it was 50 minutes and, like, 3 seconds. So that's why it's like, you know?
In mind. We get into this, man.
What's good?
Let you know, I did make 2 beats this week.
Let's go.
I did. I had a lot of stuff going. Well, I didn't really have too much stuff going on, but a lot of mental stuff going on. Just trying to get right. A lot of.
Give me 30 seconds. It's my bad. Right. I'm cutting you off. Give me 30 seconds, though. It's less than 30 seconds.
We cutting off, or do you want me to keep talking?
Nah, keep talking. I'm just going to step right here. Like 3
Yeah. Seconds. All right, so Tim about to go there and fart for a little bit. No, all right. So I made 2 beats. This one that I named 38 farts. Actually, this is 3 beats now. What the heck? Yeah. Oh, Light It Up, Blessings, and 38 farts. So I made 3 beats this week. So I did make my quota from last week. It's crazy to think that we've been going for 28 episodes now, and whatever we say on the episode, like whatever we say on the episode, we've been trying to do, and it's been helping out a lot. Like, it's crazy. So, Tim, I did 3 beats. I thought I did 2, but I did 3 beats. Hey. Two that are partially finished. Thank you, sir. And one that I was just working on right now. And there are 3 totally different beats. At one time I sat down and I was just like, and I knocked out 2 beats. Like, that was 3. I did 3 beats in a day, but within 2 hours, I think. 2 hours. Oh wait, give me 1 second. I gotta.
Yeah, it's all good. Tag team back again. Jackson Effects of Just Begin. Party on. People, let's go. Yo, hell yeah, man. This motherfucking episode 28. We got the motherfucking different shit on the lighting. I got to get the other shit, but we'll get it fixed. Man, we appreciate y'all motherfuckers tapping in with us every week, though, man. I got to say that.
because we do this shit every week. But the thing is, what? So if we're gonna publish episode 28, that's 28 fucking weeks. That's like 12 weeks away from a pregnancy. You know what I'm talking about? So we almost had a baby. We almost had a podcast baby around this bitch. And I appreciate everybody on the motherfucking journey, man. Like everybody who know us and shit, and everybody who's following our journey and shit. Y'all see that we talk about the shit, then we do the shit, and y'all see. At least for me, because I'm very transparent on this shit. Y'all seen me shoot all kind of shots and brick my ass off. I be bricking, nigga, but I be shooting my shot because I say I'm gonna shoot my shot. You know what I'm talking about, nigga? And so it ain't the fact that I brick, it's the fact that I said I'm gonna do it and I did it. Funny shit.
What'd you do, Tim?
Nah, I was just talking about how, like, what we do on the show, like how we talk. I was just appreciating everybody that tap in with us, motherfuckers that's along for the journey. The people that know us know that we working towards our shit and how we say shit and then we do shit on the podcast. And then if you notice that Boris the Beast on this podcast, I'm very transparent. So if you've been watching and paying attention to these episodes, you'll notice when I shot my shots and you notice when I bricked and you know what I mean? Like, I be bricking, nigga, but it don't matter because I shoot my shot at least. That's the main motherfucking thing. So hopefully it gives some courage to motherfuckers out there when y'all watch this shit. It's like, hey, this nigga kept shooting his shot, nigga, and he was bricking like a motherfucker, but he still kept shooting, nigga. You just think your next shot gonna go in. Like Kobe and Jordan say, shit.
Yeah, 100%. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Come on, Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you don't ask, then you automatically get a no, you know? But when you ask, the options go all the way up to 50% because now it could be yes or no. But you go from 0 to 50 just by saying something versus staying at 0 by ain't saying shit.
People are comfortable with knowing, having control of their own destiny. That's why.
But do you really anyway?
Yeah, that's the question. Do you? Are you in control of your own destiny? Is there such thing as destiny?
I think there is, but I feel it's similar to what you were saying with like raising your kids. Like how your kids always got the steering wheel. I feel like we got our own steering wheel for life, and it's a boat though. It's not a car. Because a boat like gets affected by the winds and shit, you know what I mean?
And the waves.
The waves, yeah. And so it's like we can be planning to go where we want to go, but then the waves and the winds come out of nowhere to try to jar shit, and you know what I mean? But we still try to steer where we going. We got control in that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, because there could be an outside force pushing you a different way. And it's only easier to go the right way or to go in the way that it's pushing you.
Whew, I was watching some shit earlier today, and it said, it was like, oh, like when you really get on your shit, like you're gonna just feel like everything's starting to line, and like you're gonna feel like the wind is at your back. And when I heard old girl say that, I was like, nigga, that phrase took on a whole nother meaning because it was like the wind at your back. Like the best part I got was when I fucking put the brakes on and you can feel the fucking parachute go, and then you feel the wind at your back as you're just flying through the fucking sky. And I know that feeling of feeling the wind in your back because it's like it's guiding you, it's pushing you, it's like it's effortless. Like you don't really got to do shit. You're using the wind's momentum to do shit.
All right, so let's back up real quick. Tim recently embarked on a little journey this past weekend, and if you're not getting with his references, this motherfucker jumped out of a motherfucking plane and shit. Jumped out. And if you follow him, you should be following him. He had released a little clip of his ass jumping out the plane. And he told me the whole story about him smiling and shit, but I got to see. He's like, yeah. There's no audio in the video, by the way. So I can hear that shit in my head. Oh my God,
so
bro.
Funny. He has no audio, but he can hear the audio by seeing it. And that's another thing. Seeing is believing. Go ahead.
Nah, man, that takes a lot of balls, bro. Like a lot of balls, and just, you said you were gonna do it too. And you did. So we commend you for that shit. And man, the outcome came out. Like, so tell us about it, man. Tell everybody about it, man. That's crazy. I've been ever since you did it. I'm like hyped up, right? I'm hyped up. I'm like, oh shit. I want to jump out of a plane, kind of like because I'm scared and shit. Like I like kind of want to jump out of a plane. I'm scared of heights, but fuck it. Like it's real weird. Yeah, I am a little afraid of heights. Like if I look over across the thing, my balls will jump back into my body. Like, oh, I get that shit right here. The balls go in my throat. I'm like, oh. But yeah, I don't know. Like I've been to like Six Flags and I've rode almost every single roller coaster there. I went once though. I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. Like I did everything. Damn. It was fun, once you get used to the shit and like going fast. Like it's just the height that fucks me up. But it's fun going fast. I think like my favorite one was like Batman or some shit like that, or Riddler's Revenge before. Yeah, those shits were fun. But
Batman's like 45 seconds and it got like probably like 6 loops or some shit. It was cool though.
Yeah, you follow the track and the shit's just like freaking flipping around. That's dope. I did like that. But yeah, dude, jumping out of a plane though. Like I said, I texted you. I texted Tim. I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy. I think I would do it, but if only other people would do that shit. Like, and then I'm like, I would have no choice but to do that shit. But it's a good push, but it's not like what were we talking about when we were playing Apex? Like, if your friends jump off a bridge, would you do it? Hell yeah, jump off a bridge. Yeah, jump off the bridge.
It's like in this situation, actually, yeah. It's like, man, I wouldn't do it by myself, but if everybody else is doing it, I think I'll do it. And I'm like, damn. And that was my revelation in 2012, I started going to all them shows. And that's where I think 2012 was like a real pivotal year for me because that's when I broke up with that girl from like 7 years and shit and like trying to figure out what was me versus what was me in a relationship kind of thing, right? And all the shit I was holding myself back from, right? Doing music, going to shows, all this shit. I wouldn't be doing none of this shit if I was still with her. That's the trippiest part about all this.
That's crazy that a woman would hold you back like that.
It's not crazy.
No, it's crazy. Well, I mean, it's crazy to think about like somebody like you. Well, now that's talking right now.
Yeah, I can dig that. Oh yeah. Looking at it from that perspective, yeah. And I was gonna do it. That's the crazier part. I was gonna do it because I was trying to have 8 kids, man, and I was like, hey, I was like, man. See, the thing is that when you come up, yeah. I'm crazy once again. Dude, I wanted 30 kids, to be honest. I wanted 30 kids just so I can fucking pull up and have my own school bus, but then paint it a different color and like take the kids to school. Like, you know what I mean? But, things. Then the reason why, like, if we want to look at it on a deep ass level, the deep ass level is growing up with the abandonment issues I was holding on to and not having big family and shit like that. Cause I started tripping off of it. Like, I really know a lot of Mexican songs, right? Like I got a good helping of what Mexican culture is like, but I also got a good helping of what Filipino culture is like. And I was sitting there tripping off of it like, why is it that I know so much about these cultures? The reason why I gravitate to them so much is because in Inglewood, Mexicans are your Filipinos. In everywhere else I've been, like where was I going? In Fullerton, Filipinos are the Mexicans. Like, you know what I mean? If you go to the OC, like Inglewood is my Mexicans, but then you go to the OC and the Filipinos are the Mexicans of the OC because the abundance of them. But what you notice is when you go to the clubs, the Filipinos always stick together. When you cool with some Filipinos and you go to their house, they nice as fuck. And they always stick together. They all gonna be doing karaoke. They all gonna fucking like, you know what I mean? And if you don't care to do karaoke, you kick it around them, you gonna be doing karaoke. They all get fucked up drunk. They all get like, you know what I mean? And then when I was kicking them with Freddie and them for the Mexican situation, like, it's not karaoke, but it's singing. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna get fucked up drunk. Yep, they put your arm around you. I've done it. 1800. I've fucking done it, dude. Fucking grab arms and everything and do that. Hey, like all that shit. But it's the family aspect of it. That's the thing I trip off of the most is that for the quinces, for the baby showers, for the weddings, for like, it's always this everybody pitches in, and it don't matter what the fuck's going on. Family's gonna come together. In my community or my household or my family where we grew up, you know what I'm saying? It's more individual based, you know? Like motherfuckers was raised. The people I come from were the rebels of who they were born into. So since they left off and separated themselves from the family, we're the kids of the rebels, right? Because the rebels are the ones who didn't want to follow the shit back at home. All right, you got 16 kids in the house. I don't want to follow this shit. You got fucking 11 kids in this house. I don't want to follow this shit. And both of these rebels end up getting together and moving to California and have 2 kids. And those 2 kids had fucking 6 fucking grandkids out of all that shit, right? But through that, since the 2 rebels were the people who brought us here to Cali, they grew up just being on their own. They just like, you know what I mean? They never went back home because they were rebels. It was shame to go back home and like, you know what I mean? All that. And so it's a whole nother aspect of life that's just a chunk missing out based off somebody else's shame. You know what I mean? Like when I look at my Hispanic friends, my Filipino friends, it ain't no thing of, oh, one of the kids moved away and never came back. Ain't no thing like that. Oh yeah, this kid, they moved away to a whole nother state and then like never came back, never visited, never brought their kids to know who their history is. Like that ain't the thing. It won't happen that way because of the culture. And so my main thing is always go get the game and bring it right back. I love like my Mexican brothers, my motherfucking Filipino brothers, nigga, they the homies. But then I go back to my family like, hey nigga, this what they do, nigga, shit. This is what we should do, nigga, because look at them. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really think about it, Ed, because this is a part that's trippy, right? I got some Filipino peoples that I got, right? I know you Filipino, I'm about that, but still, like I got other Filipino homies and shit.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And there's a similarity amongst all y'all because it's a culture-based thing. But in Black community, right? Like we all had to deal with the whole like when people talk about Reaganomics and the crack epidemic, like 9 times out of 10 when you're talking to a Black person, everybody got that crackhead or crackheads in their family, right? That you gotta love unconditionally and all that extra shit. The thing that tripped me out is I was over there with some of my Filipino homies and I'm out there smoking and then the mama was out there, right? And we smoking and shit and like I'm chopping it up with the mama and she's like, oh yeah, the stuff that you guys have now, this weed is crazy because it'll get you fucked up. She's like, back in my day, the weed we smoked, it really didn't do nothing to you. I was like, for real? I was like, what's the best high that you got from the drugs that you did back in the day? And she looked me straight in my face and said, crack? I was like, damn, nigga, whoa, nigga, I wasn't expecting that. And so I was like, oh shit, nigga. But then she started going in like, oh, it was this kind of high and all this woo-woo. And I'm just looking like, damn, nigga. And then I just asked her like, well, what did you do to like, you know what I mean? And long story short, the aspect is still fucking family support. It's support, man. Like what I realized at Best Buy is that like everybody loves or hate their job based off the level of support they got. That's all it is. It's support. You can get through shit easier with support. Sometimes you don't need support because you need to build up your wings yourself. But it's certain shit like everybody need help to get somewhere, man. Like no baby survives. That's why I don't understand selfish people because a baby can't take care of itself. A baby's not changing its own diapers and I gotta go pee now. I gotta go eat. No. So when I look at selfish people, I'm like, nigga, somebody took care of you to be here. There's no baby survives if everybody is selfish. So where does selfishness come from?
Yeah, where does that go? Especially with the people that have done that for their kids and then they're just selfish after.
And then, right?
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, yeah. That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, I understand for sure. Like talking about the culture of leaving home and never looking back. I'm in Texas right now and I'm telling Shanae, like, oh, I need to go back. I don't feel right. Like I don't feel right being out this far without having my family. Like it's not a security thing. You're right. Like it's instilled in us that we have to be a unit. Like at least, I mean, of course we can have our little breaks of not seeing our family. Right. But yeah, it is very important to me to have my parents in my kids' lives and my brother and my cousins. You know what I mean? I want them to know them, and I want them to, yeah, because like when we were little, we was around like my cousins and my aunties and uncles and everything like that, and it's very important to have that backing, that support, and I'm married to a black woman too, so I know that side what you're talking about, and how yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of segregation, like not segregation, but everything's like segregated in different places. Like people are in different places and they don't, they're just like, cut off or something like that. Like just cut off. Like I'm like, like I understand, but like I understand why, but it's just like why are they like that? Like why are you like why are you know what I mean? Like because it's hard for me because our family's like this, you know what I mean? We're like that. You talking about that karaoke shit? That shit's real. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been there.
Yeah.
Nigga, I don't
never
know no black.
it.
I never did karaoke until I was around my Mexican and fucking Filipino people. Cause there ain't no black shit. That's what's funny about it.
There should be, man.
It should though. That's what I'm saying. It should. But like our substitutes is the cookouts and shit like that. But like, and Domino's is our karaoke. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
But black people can sing though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But then it becomes a competition. But it becomes a competition too. Like sometimes when but when everybody got that drink in them, it's not a competition. You got drink and you got food, bro. So
and think about that too. Think about that too. Like to have bonding activities built into the tradition, right? Because what I pointed out is at Mexican parties where you drink, you already pointed out the shoulder, arm around the shoulder. We're drunk. We're gonna sing some shit. Drunk at Filipino, we're drunk and we're singing karaoke. Drunk at a black person's party, you're drunk and then somebody's gonna fight. Somebody's gonna take shit left. Somebody finna get an attitude because it's not built into the tradition. The only traditional things is going you can play spades. The music is already playing, and then you're gonna dance. But there's no thing to say, hey, camaraderie. Those things are camaraderie. Fucking the grab your arm and sing and the karaoke shit is camaraderie. But like, besides dominoes or dancing, there's no camaraderie. And then plus you're singing, so you're still releasing something, right? That's why the fight happens, because when they start feeling that liquor, then they talking, and then next thing you know, they letting a little loose, and then hey, that's where it go. But it's like, if you can be loose and let it out loose because you're singing, you're getting that release without the negativity. So that's all I'm saying, man. I just like to look at all the different cultural things and be like, damn, this ain't something that helps us. This is some shit that I see that y'all niggas is all close knit. Y'all all close knit for a reason. And it's a whole smorgasbord of all the things that make it that. To make you go, nigga, I'm homesick. I don't feel right. And then for you to say this, because that's what I trip off of with parents that don't want to be parents. That exists. Parents who have kids, people who have kids that don't want to be parents. Yeah. But that fact where you said you want your parents to know the grandparents, the aunties, the uncles, and all that. And I'm thinking like, yeah, but with the rebels didn't make it a point to say, oh, well, let's go back to Texas, to my hometown, so you can fucking know your grandmama and your aunties, your uncle. Because that's what's crazy. It's like, if you know where you come from, to be like, dang, well, my grandpa built a temple in Texas in this spot right here. Oh, this is all my hood. This is all the great houses right here, nigga. So if I go to Texas right now, I got a hood where all these niggas know me and I don't know these niggas, but they all know me. And this is our hood, though. We got a church. We got a mortuary. We got like a whole little section that's some great house pawned up, like sectioned off shit to say, nigga, these is the great house niggas. And then from my grandmama's family, oh, the Green and the fucking Hardings, this is their area. And then to know that this is all your family. And then the thing about the Texas family, nigga, like the Christie Great Houses and all these other niggas, some of them niggas is mixed with Hispanic. Like one dude trip off this. Timothy Greathouse, another Timothy Greathouse, right? The Texas one.
Texas Timothy Greathouse. Yeah.
That nigga married a Hispanic girl, has 16 kids.
What?
16. So it's like, it's whack.
Got cousins running around?
Man, I got multiple cousins running around through Texas. Like from Corpus Christi to fucking Dallas to San Antonio. And it's like, but it's whack because just like how the whole skydive thing, I could say, oh nigga, I went skydiving. And it's like, Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Just like, oh, I got all this family in Texas, like, yeah. But then until you could see that shit, it's like, hold up, nigga, like, well, yeah, we got these little albums, and yeah, they tell us these are family in California, because that's the whole thing. Everybody's sectioned off, but don't
You
nobody
sent
go to the
pictures?
shit. Hmm?
Did your mom's she sent pictures and stuff to like to show you who you are and stuff like
Yeah,
that? That's why they
eventually.
got you. That's crazy, man. You know, like I know that feeling. So my mom, because I've never been to the Philippines, bro. Like, and we have like that. We have that. Well, not to that extent
I
towards
can't
like a whole
believe you ain't
bunch.
been to the Philippines.
I
What?
haven't. I blame my parents.
I blame you.
Dude, hey,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
going.
you grown. You grown.
I'm grown. I can't speak the language. I want my
They
dad to
speaking
show
of
me.
English. They
Yeah,
speaking
they
of
do.
English.
But I want my dad to show me. I want my dad to show me where I come from.
You told him that?
Like, yeah. I
You
said,
told him that straight up?
Yeah, I told him that straight up. I was like, I want you to show me. He's like, I don't know if you should come right now. I was like,
Yeah. What?
nah, because he was supposed to go back and like fix the house. Like we have a house out, not we, but the family's house. Like my grandma and grandpa, they're buried out there. So I want to go visit them. Like I want to see, the graves, and I want to talk to them a little bit out there. And yeah, there's a house out there that he wants to go and fix up and kind of like modernize it. I guess like fix it, like plumbing and all that shit. But he's oh, let me go with you. It was like, no, just come when when it's ready. I'm like, why not? I was like, well, you about to get into some trouble or something. You don't want me to come with you, man. Like, stomping it. I'm like, yo, but yeah, no, like there's a house where my mom is from, and they have our pictures on the wall, like of me and my cousins and stuff up there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the heck? And then they know like my dad's side of the family too. So I was like, that's crazy. And like looking like I never been over there. These people know who I am. Like, I don't even know who you are. Like, this is crazy.
You feel me?
Yeah, man. But I understand how you feel about wanting to have like a big family, and having that, because it's a good feeling, right? You have these
Dude.
people that you trust like this, and for sure 100% that you can trust them, and
Because
they ain't
my thing
stupid.
is like,
Yeah.
shit, if I can control, because like that's the main thing. Like you can't pick your family, right? So everybody got the crackhead and all that. But it's like,
Yeah.
nigga, if I can control the family because I'm the head of it, nigga, and I made all 30 kids, like then I control the mindset, everything. Because it's like when you go around and see all that shit, like from a person who had celebrated I've had 2 Christmas trees my whole life, kind of thing, Besides the time I was living with Matt and them, but like I'm talking about within my family, we had 2 Christmas trees. We didn't really celebrate fucking birthdays, but when my mama could, we went to fucking Sizzler, right? So those little moments when she could do it, we cherish it like a motherfucker. But when we used to go around my cousin, who my auntie married, when we used to go around their family, that was the first glimpse of like, fuck, they're close knit. They always doing shit. Like and we just watch from afar, like, damn, nigga, this is what a family looks like. But then I get older and now I go around to everybody else. I'm like, damn, nigga, them niggas didn't even have it right. Cause nigga, I'm telling you, fucking Filipinos, Mexicans, even what I learned, I was watching the shit on Twitter. I had to send it to my mom because it was kind of intriguing. The shit said, he said, hey, this video, this dude, he said, hey, this ain't trying to be racist, but I want to know how come I don't never see any pregnant Asian women? And then the girl comes in, it's like a TikTok video. The girl comes in, she's like, I want to answer that. She's like, well, I'm Chinese. I can't speak for every other Asian culture, but in Chinese culture, we're only gonna have 2 babies. And since we only gonna have 2 babies, we really cherish and the birth, the pregnancy is sacred, and they trying to do everything in their power to prevent miscarriage since they only can have 2 kids. And
Oh,
so
they don't want to be around people.
And so what happens is, she said the rest of the family picks up the load because they don't want stress on the woman to have that baby. So they don't go to the grocery store, they don't go do the laundry, they don't cook at home. Every other family member mostly of the women, but every other family member picks up her load while she's fucking carrying the baby. And that's why you don't see the pregnant lady out. And I'm like, dang. And so I'm telling my mama this, and she's like, dang, Timothy, just more, Because when you start thinking about it, you're like, dang, nigga. Every time when you drive by, right, when you go up in Inglewood and you go over LA County, you see people pushing strollers. You see people pushing a stroller and they're pregnant. You see people walking the babies and they're pregnant. But the people that you're seeing is Mexicans and black. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
Mexican and black, walking, pushing a stroller, getting the baby, getting on the bus, pop. Then when I was thinking about the Asian thing, I'm like, fuck, nigga. Because our people's fucking push them strollers, nigga. They go to the grocery store, they doing the laundry, they doing dishes, they doing that. And I'm like, think about these cultural differences that we could be benefiting from if we can open our mind to it, be open, exposed to it, blah, blah. But it just fucks with me. It's like, you know what I mean? Because think about that baby's, like, I think about my anxiety sometimes. And like, even the way I came into the world it's the reason why fucking anxiety's there. You know what I mean? I was going to be born in 5 months. I was coming out in 5 months because some shock and stress that my mama was going through from my biological pops. And I was going to come at 5 months. And my mama prayed and all this, and then the contractions stopped. And then fucking 4 months later, Tim Greyhouse come out. But if Tim Greyhouse would have came out at 5 months, Tim Greyhouse might and I would be here. You know what I'm saying? And so it just thinks about what stress can do to a pregnancy, because you're going to have a 5 month premature baby because you picked the wrong dude. So, man, my thing is like I always say, you spend your adulthood resolving your childhood. And so it makes sense like people become doctors and attorneys and lawyers and things like that, because they always have a personal experience with it that makes them have that gumption for it, And my gumption is just that, I wanted to have 30 kids because I wanted to be able to have a big family, what big family's like, and then fucking a big family where motherfuckers is going to come up under my lineage where I'm a Care Bear, nigga. So we ain't gotta have no fucking ifs, ands, or buts if they gonna do you dirty, be shady, nah, nigga. Because you all came up under the fucking I care, treat people the way you wish to be treated as motherfucking mindset versus this look out for self and all this other kind of bullshit.
All right. Damn. 30 kids is a lot though, bro.
Yeah, nah, I had to adjust it to 8 afterwards.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just but imagine though, like 30 kids, that's one kid, the oldest to the youngest kid is 30 years or 29 years, whatever.
That is crazy.
That's like basically our age now, and we had a younger brother, like that it was just born. Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy.
That'd be dope, man.
Like I don't even got a kid yet. I got a younger brother. That's like I have a kid. But, no. And that oldest one has to take care of the other kids. Those like top 3. Top 5, the elite 4 or whatever. Elite 4. Yeah, they gotta take care. You gotta
call a meeting with the elite.
Yeah,
it's like we're going on vacation. We're gonna entrust you guys to hold down the fort while we're gone. Me and your mama got some things.
Yeah. You're like those are your generals, bro, and you just gotta
delegate.
That's crazy. Yeah, delegate. Yeah, what they want. Yeah. What you want. That's funny. But 8 kids, yeah. My mom is from 6. Yeah, so that's still a lot. 3 boys and 3 girls.
Has 7.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I feel like
3 girls, that's that Brady Bunch shit. That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was just thinking about that, and I was like, that is some Brady Bunch stuff. Yeah, 3 boys and 3 girls. There would have been another one, but the eldest passed away. That's what I saw a picture of. What would have been my eldest auntie, but she passed away when she was a baby. I don't know what happened. I forgot, but yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that big. And my dad is 4, but there's like 16 cousins. So we would have a lot of people at the Christmases and stuff like that. And it's a shame that I'm not really close with the other, like the second cousins. Well, we call them second cousins. I don't know how it is in a black family because Sinead be confusing the shit out of me with that. I was like, all right, so look, this is how I'm breaking it down. All right, so to me, the way I see it is, all right, so like it'll be me, right? Or say my parents. So my mom, say my dad. My dad has a brother, right? And my dad's brother is my uncle, right?
Yep.
right? And the kid, and then if he has kids, my uncle has kids. Those are my cousins,
Boom.
right? And then my kids, and then my cousin's kids. What is that?
Second cousins.
Yeah, I don't see it as second cousins.
Ain't that second cousins because that's the next generation down?
So they would be second cousins to my
other.
kid, to my kids and their kids.
Right?
My kids and my cousin's kids are second cousins.
right?
Right.
Because they're in the next tier down.
Right, exactly. So first cousin and the second cousin.
Yeah.
So what are those kids like my cousin's kids? What are those to me?
Your cousin's kids, your uncle's kids?
Yeah, my cousin's kids to me.
Hey, some kids, that's your cousin's kids.
So we just
know
say
what that is. It's in the tree somewhere though. Like when you did the ancestry shit, it shows you like it says all the second and all that shit. It do like second cousin and all that shit too. Cause I don't know that part real good. Cause nigga, how often do niggas look at family trees? Nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Nah, see, that's what I'm saying. So to me, those are like my nieces and nephews. That's what I would say. Like that's still my niece and nephew. That ain't your niece and nephew. That's your dad's niece and nephew. Like great niece. That's your dad's great niece and nephew. Right. So it wouldn't be. I would say if it was my cousin's kids, then I would still call them my niece and nephews.
Your cousin's kids, because then basically you just acting like your cousins is your siblings.
Yeah. Well, they still gotta call me uncle because that's some respect shit. That's some respect shit.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So
respect your elders, right here.
Yeah, you still call me uncle. Like, yeah. Shanae says those are my second cousins, and that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. I gotta look at the ancestry thing.
Like, what's up, little cousin? Like, I'm a cousin because that's a generation skip. Like, those are my kids' second cousins, not my second cousins.
It's somebody's cousin.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm confused. Confused.
Have you ever did the ancestryshit.com?
I have it. You know what it told me?
What?
Crazy. Hey, check this out. I'm 100% Filipino. That's crazy, right? I'll waste my damn money telling me I'm Filipino.
No, not that. Hold up.
You said you were from the Philippines. I was like, yes, motherfucker, I knew that shit. I didn't know that shit.
You talking about you did the blood sample thing? That's what you talking about?
I did the swab.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so you did that. So you tried to find out like your origins and shit.
Yeah, my origins is from the Philippines. I'm like,
but did they get like specific to say like which tribes and shit like that?
No. All right, so the last time I saw it, they got more in depth about it, but last time I saw it just said what is it? What's that shit? Pacific Islander. The hell is that shit? Man, why can't I think about it? Not Indonesian, not. Think about the rock. What is the rock?
Hawaiian, Samoan.
What's another word for those?
Hawaiian.
Another word for Hawaiian.
Rocket power.
Rocket. They for sure. Hey, Reggie not a word freaking yeah. Nah, but the dad was white.
I don't know. That story seemed a little fish. It seemed like Mari should have been involved in that story.
The mom, yeah, we didn't know where the mom was. She passed. Oh, and Tito was the uncle, so that's true.
And then somebody had like a crazy theory that they made about that on YouTube, where they said like Tito and the mom is not there, and like they had this whole like. Yeah, dude.
It's always some grim shit. I hate that, man. Like, why can't it be some literal stuff? Like, it's always some grim stuff.
But
like Tito's the uncle, and the mom's dead. The mom passed. That means that the mom was Indonesian or whatever, or Samoan or something. And the kids are half Samoan and white. You want to believe the other one because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, dude.
I'm not looking at shit. I don't want to believe all that.
I know, right?
That hoo-ha.
That riff-raff.
I don't know about riff-raff talking about all this crazy stuff.
All that rigmarole.
Hot dog. Man.
Yeah. But yeah, nah, I don't know what Pacific East Islander or something like that, right? Some shit like that.
I don't know why I can't think about it.
Man, you got to go back to your hometown, man. You got to go to the motherland.
I do got to go to the motherland.
Make it up, put it on the plan, but make it a date and make it a plan.
Yeah, I do want to make a tour because I for sure want to go to Japan. But once all this shit blows over, blows over. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Crazy ass people, man.
Changed in Texas. Ain't nothing changed in Texas.
We just wear masks out here. My brother, I just told him I was at Walmart earlier when I hit you up, or you hit me up. And I found this like pop figure of LeBron James, like this big, like it's the big ones. Like it's like Funko 30 Pop? Yeah, Funko Pop, Lakers LeBron James. Big one. $30. I hit my brother, I was like, yo, hey, you want this? There's 3 of them. Like, he's like, nah, I don't want that shit. But
how many did you buy?
I didn't buy any.
Oh,
it was $30.
Funko Pop thing?
Oh no, I got them. I just I didn't pull the trigger on those. I do want to eventually go. They've been there for a long time, so I don't know if they're going to be on like a clearance or some shits pretty soon or whatever. But
I know that collect them, or you get them to slang them.
I like to collect the Funko Pop ones. I collect the ones that I want. Like right here, I got freaking Piccolo because Piccolo's my favorite Dragon Ball Z character, and I got an Iron Fist one. It's like a limited edition Iron Fist one that dropped. I don't like Iron Fist that much, but he's still dope to me. I got a freaking All Might from freaking My Hero. Because All Might is fucking All Might is dope as fuck. So I got him there. The freaking he's a dude that smiles, man. Remind me of you, bro. Yeah, just smiles all the time because people need to see that shit. And if you don't smile, then they're gonna lose hope. They have to have hope. So shining light of hope. World's number one hero. That's Timothy Greathouse, number one hero.
Spitting over here.
And I got it's not a pop figure, but I got a Hello Kitty Kid Robot collaboration. And are you familiar with Kid Robot? So Kid Robot, back in the 2000s, when they were really, really popular. They're the ones that have the dunnies. You ever remember the dunnies or monies? And they're like the little blank ones, and you can paint them whatever one you want. And they had different ones. Oh, crazy! That shit
sound like homies, but not homies.
Oh, you really are from the bro. You talking about homies? Hold on real quick.
Hey, hold on. Everybody don't know about homies. What you mean, nigga? If you know about tech decks, skate decks, then you know about homies. I thought that was one and the same.
Oh, no, man, it's not.
Tech deck, and homies is not the same.
No, heck no, bro. Hey, homies, you could get in the thing, the 50 cent machine thing.
I went to let us,
yeah. And they got the little hyenas and freaking cholos and shit, man.
You know, man.
These you never seen? I don't want to open this, but. Man, I hate doing this shit with this green screen thing. Here,
yo, you see Sriracha?
This is a version of it. So when collecting they basically were one of the first ones that started this shit. So I think Funko Pop started because this shit was popular as fuck. So these are like the
is this a dunny?
This is a dunny. Because the monies are the little monkeys, and the dunnies is the bunny rabbit ones. But they all started because of this company, because of Kid Robot. That's what I think. Because when this shit started popping off, these were major collector items, man. Like these, you wouldn't even be able to find these. Like they would be sold out like crazy.
Damn.
Back in like 2004, 3, I don't know. That's when I got into them. They was already like in high school and then out of high school. So that was like. Yeah, 2002 or something like that. 2003, when they were popping big, and then it got even bigger. The hype beasts and shit. When dunks first started getting all crazy, and that's the time when all like the hype beasts, like all the dudes that were all like straight up, like everything limited edition and shit, would just go on like fucking rock their shit. Like, oh, look at my shit, look at my shit. And they would, yeah, these were it. These were one of the hypest shits ever, bro.
Dude, where did the word hypebeast come from? Because that shit was not the word. Like, it wasn't. That wasn't the word to describe those people back in my high school back in those days.
We knew them as that. Well, our selected group of friends knew them as that because we knew about that culture. And then other people didn't know about that shit yet. Until later on, they're like, oh, fucking hype ass. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying that shit. But we knew about that shit. Like, it was like a term like backpackers. Like backpack rappers. It's like a term like that.
Yeah. Nah, dude. The school I went to, uni, it was like, we just called it gear. You know, like, oh, I got gear. Or that dude got gear. And it's like, the people who had gear at that school, because it was a thing, right? Like, it was diverse. And it's West LA and shit. So everybody with money, fucking, every time the new J's come out. I remember the day the gray J's came out. Which ones are those? Like fucking the 11s, but gray. Remember those?
Yeah, the gray and the white bottom. The white bottom ones, yep.
When those came out, you already knew everybody at school, like, because it was a thing. And like, you know, that's part of the reason why I just fucking embraced being like different and shit. Because it was like, nigga, I couldn't afford it. Well, fuck that. I don't want to follow the trends anyway. Because everybody coming to school with they fucking bitch ass gray 11s. And then when everybody came to school with they fucking 13s, I was like, oh, the 13 gray white with the gray, oh, the blue. Oh my God. Those are the ones I was jealous, low key. I was always low key jealous of that. Because those are my favorite ones. But every other ones, I was like, every time the new J's come out, you're going to see like 25 people in here with the same brand new ass J's. And I'm like, y'all niggas ain't different. You know what I mean? Nigga, I got on K-Swiss, nigga. I'm the only nigga in school with my K-Swiss on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we didn't call people hype beasts though. But they was always following the hype though. That's deep.
But see the hype. See those people that have those are not hype beasts.
What are they? Fashion people that want
attention?
Yeah,
they did. So hype beasts are the ones with the limited shit, like the like Stussy, right?
Yeah,
like Stussy. They have like collaborated dunks with Nike. If you have that shit on with all right, I get limited, it. Like say like Supreme, like you rocking Supreme and shit. Like it was now, those are
back then, and Gerbo jeans. Gerbo. Yeah, niggas get in school with Gerbo jeans. Like nigga, I've been listening to Hot Boys. Nigga, I got my Gerbo jeans, and I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm still bumping. I'm still sporting Union Bay jeans, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But
hey man, I just rock Levi's. Bro.
Yeah, hey, Levi's, man, it's clutch.
Timeless.
Facts. But you're right though.
I had you know what? I didn't have Levi's. I had
what's the other ones? Lee.
I had some, Lee jeans. Damn, man. I had to get the Huskies when I was younger because I was
dude. I had to get Husky when I was younger. I was so self-conscious about that shit.
My brother used to make fun of me. He's like,
my brother too. My brother too, because he was always skinny as fuck. He'd make fun of my Husky cheese. I had a complex about it, dude. I was like, man, how come I'm the thicker one? Like, you know. I'm telling you, man. I had to do a lot of building of my self-esteem over the years, man. I was always on those fucking Husky. Because, dude, it's even worse. Like, when you look in the drawers, like, when you look in the pants, you know, I say like 36 now and shit like that. The shit used to say Husky on that Husky shit on the inside. You got a reminder. Yeah. Husky.
It's because the word Husky is just so like... Don't call me a Husky like that.
You should call it 7 comfy, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Comfy. People like, yeah, that's a comfy kid. Oh yeah.
Hey, these are comfortable.
You know, I ain't gotta wear these tight pants. I gotta wear the comfy ones.
Husky, man. Hey, I'm gonna text my brother right now. Actually, Abe. I'm gonna let you know what
that's my funny, God, man. Whoa. There's a lot of similarities, man. That's just funny to me.
I can't believe you wore Husky, dude. I didn't know people knew about that shit.
Man, I had a complex about that shit for so long. Yeah, man. But the Husky ones were the ones that were comfortable. I could have went other ones, man. The waist was too tight.
It would have a picture of an actual husky, though. Do you remember that shit? Like the actual dog, like the husky.
What? Some certain brands would have the husky too, but yeah, the words were just bad enough.
My brother said size H.
Cocaine. Yo, cocaine. Yo, hey. Oh, hey, man. I know the feeling, though, man. I used to think it was only me. I thought it was only me going through that.
Man.
Because I didn't talk to nobody about it. You know what I'm saying?
It's all neck right here. It's like, man.
I'm glad. You know?
I can't do nothing, man.
I'm fucking husky. I gotta get the husky size.
So hold on, I'm a little tired.
Man. Just wait for me.
Hey, somebody help me over the fence. My brother said that was a part of your journey. Talking shit, weight loss journey.
Your weight loss journey. Size H. He's like, my name's Ed. I used to be husky.
I used to be size H.
Yeah.
Little camera
right?
angles,
Got the camera zooms away and shit. My name's Tim, and I used to be size H husky. And we are Huskies Anonymous.
You too can get out of your H's.
Yes. Did you ever feel bad that you had to wear Huskies and your siblings got to wear regular size? You're not alone. Not alone.
Oh my God, bro.
Funny
that
shit.
is crazy. That is crazy. It's funny how we went from skydiving. You didn't even talk about what diving and skydiving. You just said, "Oh yeah, I went skydiving," and then you went on about family. That's important, man. I want to do all this shit. I want to, jumping out the, man. That's crazy though. That's crazy that it made you think about family and like, oh, I want to have 30 motherfucking kids. I don't give a damn. Like, well, back then, I don't know about now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think you still would like a pretty big family, right?
I still would.
I'm not 30.
Not 30 no more.
At least 3. What would you say?
I say where I'm at now. I gotta have more than 2 kids, in my opinion. I would be cool with 2 kids, but I would want to have more than 2 kids. I grew up in 4, right? And I know the dynamic of 4 versus watching my cousin with 1, watching my other cousin with 2. Like, I know the dynamics of watching kids grow up. And like, when I think about if it would have just been me and my brother, things would have been totally different. But since it was me, my brother, and my 2 sisters, dude, trip off this shit. Because certain shit I just be thinking and then shit happens. But like, since I have 2 sisters and my mama, like, I'm way more versed in the whole, like, when bitches get periods and all that kind of shit, right? I know when it's happening. And like, something just tells me on the inside, like, boop. And then motherfuckers just outside confirming. And I'm just like, and I'm talking to my mom about this shit. And she's like, well, yeah, because you got sisters and a mom, like, you're exposed to it. So of course you're going to be more experienced in that. But yeah, when I think about like as the 4 kids, like me and my brother is close, and my 2 younger sisters are close, right? Because male can relate to male, sisters can relate to sister. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we all got each other's back. Even if we don't like each other at certain times, we still gonna have each other's back. That's the one thing I'm glad we got. And it's like, if I can have kids, I would want 2 boys, to be honest, man. I would want 2 boys. I be seeing you with your daughter. I be seeing Thomas with his daughter. I be seeing everybody with their daughter and shit. But I know the way I am. You know what I mean? And like,
you want 2 boys?
Yeah, I want 2 boys. I want boys.
You want 2 boys?
Yeah. I don't want no daughters. I want boys. Because
you got sisters?
Because I got sisters. And like, my daughter would be like, my wife would have to be so fucking feminine. Like, you know what I mean? To balance out how smart my daughters would be based off the knowledge I would give them. Because my daughters would be too prepared. Like, I already prepared my sisters to be like ready for like the world to be mean to you and like niggas trying to run game and shit. But if these are my daughters, like, nigga, that's another level. Because it was a certain part where I'm trying to help my sisters, and then they'll hit you with, you ain't my daddy. And then now you're stuck with like, Nigga, I ain't never said I was. Nigga, I'm your brother, nigga. I'm just trying to help you out. Nigga, I know shit that you don't know. Motherfucker, I never said I was your fucking daddy. And so it makes you get resentful. Like, fuck you, man. Get your own fucking help. Like, you know,
I'm just trying to help you out.
Trying to help your stupid ass out, you know? Fucking don't come and ask for me, nigga, when you find out the hard way. Like, you know. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. It's my own kids, you know. I wouldn't be able to be like, fuck that. Like, you know, you're gonna get this work. And they'll be too fucking like, that's why my wife will have to be in it too, man, because I'm me, you know what I mean? And like, I'm gonna be an active ass dad to make sure that they got everything that they got or everything that they need, you know what I mean? Like knowledge wise. Because what I really look at when I look at my mom and what she did, everything for raising us and shit, and I look at my family and shit like that, it's like the reason my grandpops, right? My grandpops. So Hit Boy, did you see how Hit Boy won the Grammy shit? And K Tronada won the Grammy.
I did not see that.
Yeah, you ain't got to see it, but like you'll see everybody giving accolades to niggas and shit. Because I didn't watch the Grammys either, but Twitter updates and Instagram updates, you see what the fuck's up. And so everybody's like, if K Tronada win that shit, then he did it for us. And the real ones know what that mean. That's what Sango said. But,
okay.
But they talking about SoundCloud niggas. You know what I mean? Like for SoundCloud niggas to get a Grammy, it says a lot because niggas did it off of SoundCloud. Niggas didn't do it the industry way. Like, you know what I mean? They blew up off of SoundCloud, even though SoundCloud is what it is now. But it's like to say, nigga, you was a SoundCloud nigga and you got a Grammy. Your price go up for show. You know what I'm saying? Your price go up for show. Why did I talk about that?
I don't know. Shout out to K Tronada though. He one of my, you know, favorite artists that I listen to and shit. So shout out to K Tronada, man.
Yeah, K Tronada.
Hit Boy.
Hit Boy.
Let's go California. Let's go California. Hit Boy been putting out work, man.
Sure enough. He said, man, I got one with Jay-Z. I got one with Nip. I got one with Nas. He was just naming off all the Grammys that he got with motherfuckers. And I'm like, damn, nigga, that's some old legendary ass shit. Talking about all it's doing is inspire him to do more and put in more work. And it's just like, damn, nigga, like, yeah, I mean.
You already got everything.
You know? But
that's something for us.
That shit is inspiring. What the fuck did I bring that up for?
I don't know.
I forgot what we was talking about before that, but I brought it up to make it a point, whatever we was talking about.
All I remember is you talking about your sister like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. Then you can't do that with your own daughter. My wife would have to be feminine as fuck to balance out all the energy or information I give my daughters. Because they'll be very well versed in male nature. And
yeah, it's weird, man. Yeah, my daughter's really feminine. Like really feminine. I've never been around girls like you know, even like since I was like younger or whatever. I didn't have like sisters or nothing like that either. It was just me and my brother. So seeing my daughter, it's like kind of weird. I'm like, well, stop dancing like that. You better stop doing that. Stop shaking your butt. I didn't realize how like instinctual that kind of thing is. Like how you're just like that when you're younger. Like it just happens for a boy to be a certain way and a girl to be a certain way. Like it's crazy how it's structured, how it's built into the DNA already to be that way and to be this way. That's crazy. Look at what anybody says, man. There's a boy and a girl. Later on, maybe, but essentially, you know what I mean? Scientifically. It's just crazy that, well, I'll just say there's a masculine and a feminine. Yeah. There's a masculine it's a masculine and a feminine. I wanna get canceled. I'm nobody. Right. Get canceled.
Like cancel to nobody?
Yeah, you know, cancel nobody, who cares? Like, no, but still seriously, there's a feminine nature and there's a masculine nature for sure. And you could definitely see in my daughter that she's in the feminine nature, like crazy. I've never experienced that before. Look at my wife. I was like, "That's you? Like, that's you right there? You doing that? What'd you do when you were little?" Like, I was trying to talk. You know?
It's your fault.
It's your fault. You like that.
That's what I was bringing up. I was bringing up the fact that fucking Grammy nominated, the Grammy nominated talk, and to be Grammy nominated, I don't know though. See, like
You said grandpops.
Yeah. Because my grandpops is Grammy nominated, right? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, for me to be the way that I'm progressing through this shit versus how other people, if they had a Grammy nominated grandpa or anybody else, like, you know what I mean? Like when you start learning about Janae Aiko is related to the niggas from B2K, and the B2K niggas is related to Marcus Houston, and Marcus Houston is related to this. Like when you start looking at all these niggas, is who niggas is related to. DeBrat is Lisa Ray's sister. Nigga, you know DeBrat and Lisa Ray? What kind of shit is that? Players Club Lisa Ray. Yeah.
They do look alike.
Sisters. Crazy. So when you start looking at that shit, it's like, all right, family members, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But it's like, a nigga don't got it. Like I noticed what my cousin did when they did his little press release. He put that shit in there, so then it gives you the authority through that. But it's like I don't want no authority. Like, hey, put me on because my grandpops is Grammy nominated. I want my grandpops just like you want your pops to take you back to the shit. I want my grandpops to put me on. Like nigga, you Grammy nominated, nigga. I'm your grandson, nigga. You put me on, nigga. Like how you got 50? How are you a 50-year veteran in a blues game? And you don't reach back and pull other niggas up. And if you are reaching back and pulling other niggas up in your community, that's whack that you didn't reach to your own community that you created first to reach them niggas up. Because if you did, then we'll make sure you straight. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is I know what the result of individualism is, of being separate from family is. And it's like, I know the alternative. No Christmases, don't know your family, low self-esteem, like all the shit that you don't get because you don't got that support and you don't know where you come from. And like, you know what I mean?
Damn.
You gotta, just like how we was talking on the last thing, like you got your own light and you gotta guide yourself through the shit and make the unfamiliar territories familiar and shit.
Yeah. And you realize how that, no, that's true. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I didn't realize how important that is to have that. Like we were saying, like we were saying last time. If you have another person like to show you how to do things, then it's that much easier. The map is already filled, right?
You see,
now you can just navigate. you already navigate. You just go to the show where all the different stuff is. This is where you get this. This is where you get that.
Yeah, hold up. You mean I ain't got to do the scout part? Man, you just saved me so much time. Like, come on. Yeah.
That's what's hard, man. I've been going through it about like for a good like 2-3 weeks. Just like, man, how do I want to do this really bad, right? I just don't know how to do it. Like, and I'm searching how to do it. But it's shortcomings for everything I'm doing, like every single thing that I'm doing. And I'm like, damn, this shit's hard. But I was like, I don't want to give up, right? But I have to put freaking food on the table. You know what I mean? Like I gotta make some money. Like I do have to make some money. And it's just like tearing me this way, tearing me that way. And then I don't feel freaking confident about this shit because I'm not the breadwinner, you know what I mean? I'm not making money and I'm not doing all this. So it's fucking like tearing me apart inside. So I'm like, man, I need to get my shit together. And like man up essentially, or I don't want to use the sentence man up, but you know what I mean? Like get my stuff in order. But that shit's like, it's just been crazy, like to think about that. Like I wish I had like I know that me and you are going like we're going side by side, but whatever path that we're taking. But we're like I see you, bro. Like I see you. We try to help each other as much as we can. But like if we had that person that's like, you know what I mean, like a mile ahead, to be like, yo, do this, do that, especially you and you doing that. You know how impactful that would be for us. Like that's, I guess I gotta pay money for that shit.
And you're right, actually. Who the fuck was I watching? Somebody said that shit. They said, you want to know? Because what you're talking about is mentors, man. Mentors. Yeah. So like back when I was working for that fool, he was talking about this law of 33%. I be trying not to give him so much pub, man. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, we talked about you enough, nigga. I only worked there in 2015, but fucking he still had gems. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I didn't like working for the nigga, because like, you know, the other side of how people can be.
He was a slave driver? I don't know the whole story about him. So I mean,
the thing is funny,
right? There was a thing, right?
Hmm?
There was a thing about him.
Was there like a? There's multiple kind of things about him and shit. Like back when you was working for him, like we used to have to try to refute shit or whatever. But I don't know. Like the main things I know from being there for show, like none of this hearsay kind of bullshit, is just the way motherfuckers treat people, man. That's it. That's it. Like my thing is you know me, Ed.
Yeah.
If I fucking became a millionaire tomorrow, right? Like these niggas say, jump out the plane, and then when you get down to the ground, you're a millionaire, right? Boom, and then I come back. Nigga, I still would have put the stream on and would have been playing piano. You know what I mean? I'd be like, hey man, what you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna help. It's gonna do nothing but make me be more of who I am, which is who I am. But with other motherfuckers, when they get money and they start acting out like they shit don't stink, and I can yell at you because I got money and you don't, and it's like, nigga, the end of the day, you pee, you take shits, you fucking throw up, like you're a fucking human, nigga. You didn't always have this shit. You came into this world, nigga. And so with me, the way I operate, and this is why they didn't like me at Best Buy either. But fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. If you dish it, you better be able to take it. That's how I operate. If you can dish it, you better be able to take it, because I'm going to feed you your own spoon. You dished it, you better not be feeding on those spoons that you can't take your damn self. And it's always funny when you run into the people that can't take the spoon back, but it's like, no, bitch. Because one time we had a little situation, right? That shit was funny because this nigga had went to like some shit where Will Smith was at the thing, like, and he's all like trying to get the shit, and I'm like, oh shit. And so I think I had just moved over to the marketing department. I went from customer service to marketing. What?
In the old Best Buy?
Nah, I'm talking about working for what's it called?
Okay. For what's his name?
Yeah, for what's his name? I was working for what's his name? Yeah, so he's at the thing with Will Smith, and he's trying to say like publish this video, blah blah blah, right? So he's at the little mixer function thing. Now imagine this, to think back on it hindsight wise. You're a YouTuber, right? You're marketing, you'll be an information marketing YouTuber influencer at those times. Before the word influencer was big, before information marketing was real big, you kind of at the gate of that, the beginning of that shit, with your own courses and all that shit, right?
Right.
But you're at a celebrity function, so you can get your thing with Will Smith and like all these other niggas, but you're still so involved in the business that you're like texting people in the marketing team on what content distribution is still going on for your YouTubes. You know what I mean? Because when I'm looking at it in hindsight as far as efficiency, because while he was at the thing, he's telling, hey, put this video out, blah, 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 right? Now, the people who was the veterans in the department left. So it was only Tim. Tim was closing this night. So Tim gets the message, and I'm like, hey, all right, well, this nigga said this, blah, blah. So I'm going to do exactly what the nigga said. So I go do what the nigga said. The nigga come back, and he's looking at the shit. Who put that video out? Blah, blah. Yelling and shit. And I'm like,
yeah, I did.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I did.
I put it
He's
out.
like, why did you put it out? I'm like, because you said it like that. I did it all like that. Because my thing is, if you gonna communicate to me in this realm and frequency of energy, then you're saying this is the level of communication that you want to communicate on. And so don't get mad when you get back what you're dishing, because you already said this is what you want to communicate as. I'm just translating and being my linguistic self. And we're gonna speak like that, because I'm a man, nigga. Ain't nobody finna punk me, nigga. Sorry about it. So we going back and forth in the shit, right? Now, mind you, this is group text, nigga. Everybody at work knows what the fuck's going on. Like we had all these different WhatsApp groups for like the marketing and all these different teams and shit. But a lot of people were added to all the teams. So you can see that Tim is yelling at the main dude, and the main dude's yelling at Tim. Like, this is like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Like, you said, motherfucker,
yes,
you said to put this shit.
Exactly. Because I'm very like, like the whole way I grew up in like logic thinking and all this shit. It's like I'm very literal. And remember how I said I know it was 50 minutes and 2 seconds from the last blip that we want to catch because I seen it. And so it's like, nigga, we have the evidence right here that you said it. There's nothing else to debate. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody sees these messages. And just because you think you the big bad boss and that you want to hold shit over motherfuckers' head that, oh, you can fire niggas and you can talk to them any kind of way. I'm not every other nigga, man. I'm not the niggas on the video team. You can yell at the niggas on the video team. You can yell at the niggas in the editing team. You can yell at the niggas in the sales team. You can yell at the niggas in customer service. You can yell at the niggas in the house. You can yell at the motherfucking niggas over here. But when it comes to Tim, you want to yell at me, just prepare to get yelled back. I'm cool. You want to yell at me, I'll take the yelling. But I'm going to yell back at you. That's my only trade-off. Yeah. Ain't going to be just one person yelling and I got to sit there, nigga. If we going to be yelling, we going to be yelling.
Like you can't be on two different floors and yelling at somebody like, what? Let me get up to your floor and let me yell at you back so you can hear too.
Let me make sure that the communication's clear. Once you communicate to me, this is the level of communication that you want to operate on. Let's play shoots and ladders. Let's go past go and collect $200, nigga. We'll play the whole game, nigga. Straight up. And so he got mad because after he said don't put it out and blah blah blah, right? So then I went back and I unlisted it, or I think I made it private. So then he came back and was like, well, who made it private? I'm like, nigga, I did. He was like, don't do that. I was like, nigga, you said don't put it out. What was I going to do to take it away? I wasn't going to delete it. I was unlisted or make it private. Oh, well, you should do this because all these people that follow me and said, now they're clicking on a video that they can't click on, but you said don't put it out. It's boom, boom. Make it back public.
But what do you want to do?
Thank you. Make it back public. No problem. Boom. Put it back, make it back public. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, nigga, when you really look at this whole situation in hindsight, it was really a fucking waste of time. Because you said put the video out. You said who put the video out? I said I put the video out. You said you shouldn't have put the video out. I went and took the video and made it private and made it unlisted. You got mad at that. Then you said put it back to public. And so when you look at the whole circle, we should have just fucking put the video out and all that extra 20 minutes of bullshit wouldn't even been necessary. Because what's the end result?
And you would have got the same hits and likes.
It's the same result. The same result as the video.
Yeah, you're getting money. The video's out.
The video's out. You said don't put it. But right, you know what I'm saying? So the next day I come into work. And his cousin is like,
is he in there?
Nah, his cousin comes. Because that's the one other thing I didn't respect about dude. But anyway, so his cousin comes and she's like, so hey Tim, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, well, so we noticed yesterday that there was a little issue with the publishing of the video and stuff. I'm like, yeah. I was like, but we all seeing the messages that he said to put this out and blah, and then he said, she's like, yeah, but you gotta like talk to him a certain way. And I said, this is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I said to her. I said, talk to him a certain kind of way. I said, oh, well, where's the legend? And she looked at me like, huh? I'm like, she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, where's the legend? I was like, you telling me I got to talk to him a certain kind of way? I'm like, you know, when you look at a map, there's a legend that tells you how to look at the map a certain way. So where's the legend to tell you how I'm supposed to talk to this fool a certain kind of way? And she was like, oh, shit. Because, nigga, I'm a man. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't care, nigga. We ain't finna cater to this nigga on some bitch ass shit, nigga. We adults around this motherfucker. You feel me? Fuck that. Talking about I gotta talk to a nigga a certain kind of way. I hope that don't mean that you think I gotta go suck up to this nigga and this nigga gonna talk to me any kind of way, because that ain't what I signed up for. And she was like, well, how about you just give me the message to me and then I can translate? I'm like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. That's not a problem. But yeah, if you got to tell me I got to talk to a nigga a certain kind of way and y'all ain't got no legend, or hey, you got to talk to a nigga bitch ass like this, then everybody's just getting thrown to the fire. You feel me? Because there's no guideline, but you're telling me that a nigga got to talk to a nigga a certain kind of way, but there's no guideline. And that's the thing that I had to realize with working on small business versus big business. You know, I know SOP and all this shit from Best Buy. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The legend, nigga, like SOP was the legend because it shows you these are the standard operating procedures. This is how you conduct yourself. This is what happens. Bop, bop. But now you got this freeform shit, and then niggas just think they finna talk to you every kind of which way because they sign your checks. No, my nigga, I don't give a fuck about no fucking check, nigga. I give a fuck about respect before the check. You feel me? And if you gonna yell, and then so she was like, okay, bye bye. So then the other homies coming to work. And it was like, dude, you're fucking crazy. And I was like, what? And they're like, we saw you yelling at him on the fucking text last night. And we was texting the homies like, Tim is fucking crazy. And I'm like, dude, hey. That nigga came at me like that. Once you come at me like that, then nigga, don't throw it out if that ain't what you're trying to get back, homie. Because Tim don't never give bullshit to motherfuckers. You know me. I'm never going to be the first to give you some negative energy. But I'll be the first to bring it right back to you if that's what you're trying to give me, homie. And so after that, I ended up going to another department. I go back because like I fucking went back to customer support or some shit. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, no, nigga, you ain't, if this is what it is supposed to be and y'all niggas is, y'all can accept getting yelled at, nigga. I don't come to fucking work to fucking get yelled at by some nigga just because he's rich and we supposed to be cool with a nigga yelling at us. No, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So later, I'm back in the other department and we had to go to the house. And so we at the house and he was like, it's like, oh, you're in what department? I'm like, customer support. And he was like, weren't you in a different department? Like, you know how motherfuckers start acting all funny style, like when they know who you is, but they do that whole like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I was in marketing. And he was looking at me like, he was like, oh, well, how do you like customer support? I was like, it's all right. He was like, what? You don't really like it? I was like, nah. I was like, it's really monotonous. And he kind of looked at me like, but that's the thing, nigga. I'm always being honest. And people that my honesty makes people uncomfortable if you ain't real. I'm gonna put that
if you ain't real, yeah. It's just like, well, you ain't wrong. Like
you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's crazy. I don't mean to like
that's it.
You ever meet all right, so being from where you're from, and for me being from where I'm from, and then going to a place like I'm not saying that I'm from the hood or anything like that. I'm just saying where I'm from is kind of hoodish sometimes, right? Like but it's very different than like Rancho Cucamonga or something like that, right? Or like, but have you got have you gotten to where you go down there and it just reminded me of like talking to people from different upbringings, like how they look at you a certain way when you talk about something. Because I remember there was this one time where I was what was that? Because I used to live behind the mall in Victorville, right? So shit used to happen a lot back there, and I was talking to somebody. I forgot it was somewhere in Rancho. I think we were sessioning or something like that. Like we were b-boying and all that, and the dude was like, "Man, it was crazy. There was like a helicopter freaking running around and stuff like that." I was like, whoa, what the hell? Was there a helicopter running?" And then I'm just like. Because there used to be freaking ghetto birds in the air all the time for whatever reason. I don't know. That shit used to shine in my windows, right? I was like, all right, whatever. Police coming back to somebody stole some shit. Somebody did something. You know what I mean? But there'd be freaking helicopters all the time. So I just like, oh, freaking ghetto bird is out right now looking for somebody. Probably stole some shit from the mall. Probably hit somebody and ran. Like I don't know. Like, and to hear that and they're just like wowed about it. I'm just like. That just reminded me of that shit. Have you do you know a time when that shit happened to you? Like where you was like somebody was talking about something
somebody
like that?
telling me some shit and I'm like, damn, that's some more everyday shit and y'all acting like it's fucking world-class news.
Yeah.
I can't think of nothing specific, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because the ghetto bird was a definite thing. Because even when I moved up to the Des, I was like, it's too quiet out here. I'm like, y'all don't get the ghetto bird at like 6 o'clock every night, fucking coming around and shining shit. Like you always hear it. I was like, but I lived on a busy street too, so fucking we always heard the fucking fire. What's the shit called? The fire truck all the time, like the busy street. And so you learn how to sleep in that. So when you go to the desert and it's quiet as shit, I couldn't sleep when I first got up there. It was too quiet.
Oh, I know that feeling too, but. I went to like the actual silence, like in like a farmland or like a ranch area. My cousin had a ranch, and we'd go and visit them to go spend the night and all that. And it would just be dead silence where you could hear your blood pumping. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
That shit is scary as fuck. Like I went to like a ravine that was just like nothing but like like my cousin, well, my cousin's husband, so I'll just call him my cousin, whatever. He was just like, he's like, yeah, man, see all those right there? Those are deer tracks. He's like, a human hasn't set foot in there in a long time. I was like, dang, crazy. He's all, and then we weren't saying nothing, and you couldn't hear shit. I'm used to hearing like cars and shit, right, all the time, and like something noises. And I was like, I stood quiet. All I hear was my fucking, freaking producer ears and shit. I start hearing all this shit and my blood circulating and stuff. And I was like, all right, I gotta go. We gotta go.
I start freaking out, dude.
I start freaking out, dude. I heard my heartbeat, but like I heard that shit. Like, you could feel it. But I heard the freaking bass frequencies of the shit. I heard the freaking my blood circulate. I've heard my blood circulating, man. I was like, oh,
that's
fuck.
crazy.
Fuck. Like, there's this one room too. I remember there's this one recording room. I forgot what it's called. Forgive me. I forgot what it's called. I forgot. Yeah. It's like the world's most quietest room.
Yeah, and they said people can go crazy in that room and shit.
I felt like that. Like, I was like, but I made sure I snapped the fuck out of that. I was like, hey, because he took a dirt bike or a quad or whatever, and I took like a dune buggy up there because we just went into the freaking whatever. That wasn't a desert, but it was like terrain, some type of terrain. We went up to the mountain, and we were just like, and that's when he showed me the shit, and that's when I felt that. I was like, fuck, that's freaking creepy. Just creepy, man.
You got to do that shit in nature too. That shit sounds dope. It sounds like it will freak you out though, because fuck.
Imagine hearing your blood circulating.
That's crazy. Brandon's been to that room. Brandon's been to that room.
He has?
Yeah. When he was with Magnolia. Creole.
Oh, he did? He went to it's in LA, isn't it? Is that where it's at?
I think so. The place where you can go hear your fucking shit moving shit. Man, we got to get him on here. But yeah, he's been there before.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, that shit's crazy. I want you to experience that shit so you can hear the shit. Like, it's so quiet that you can just hear that shit. But the desert, the desert is quiet. The desert is quiet for the most part. Like you said, like you used to live on a busy street. The busy area was that area, like, where the mall is and shit, and the old Best Buy and all that stuff. So,
and plus it was nothing in the Brentwood, so I imagine why would you even be going over there? Plus, that's way far from the mall anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Ghetto Bird is over the Brentwoods now.
Yeah, it's different now over there. Actually, yeah, it's a lot different over there now. I used to go to parties over there. I don't know if you see my Insta, but there was this.
Hold on, which one? The push at the door where the dude had to pay? I was laughing at a lot of those. I'm like, this shit. I don't know the story, but some of this shit's funny just for watching this.
That's Chris. Chris posted that. So yeah, he's like, remember you knew all those black people? I was like, yeah, I remember that shit. That party was at the Brentwoods, man. And there was like Ed, because they was from my neighborhood. Because there's a lot of people that moved in out of the neighborhood, but I was cool with them because I played basketball and stuff. So I used to just chill with people on the block because I'd just be outside all the time. And, there's kids outside and stuff, so we're all just like intermingling most of the time. So I just happened to get recognized. I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" I don't remember the names, I forgot, but there was these brothers, but they were running the door, and at a house party.
He said, "Hey, guy, man, with the stiff arm."
Yeah, he's like, "Whoa, you put the hand to the chest." Yeah. He's like, "Whoa, that's gonna be $2 if you got a flyer."
Okay.
Remember that? Yeah. He was like, "What the?" I was like, "I don't know, bro." He's like, "What the hell, man?"
Damn. Yeah, some of them shit was funny as fuck. I was like, hold up, that other one was kind of creepy. That was weird. The dude following. That was weird.
The ex-boyfriend. Oh, the other one, you talking about when I pushed that girl's face?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, pushed the girl's face. She wanted to kiss you or some shit. Yeah, and then the other one was funny too. He said, dude, I saw you smell her. I was like, what?
That was Creole. Something he would do. He would do some dumb shit like that.
Oh, that's what you saying, boobs, nipples, and that's a call. Nickels.
No, there was this girl. There was this girl that Chris. It was me, Chris, and Creole. There's this girl that we know, and Chris used to say that she smelled like spaghetti and shit all the time. I don't know, dude. She smelled like
What
spaghetti,
kind of
spaghetti.
description is that? That's
Some-
ridiculous.
But
Oh,
we were sitting at BBC. We're sitting at BBC, dude, and we saw her there. It was like Creo and me and Chris were sitting at the table in the lunch area,
Mm.
and she comes up and she's like, "Oh, right," and she like we introduced her to like Creo and stuff. And he's like. He did one of those like, is this her?
Is this her? Yeah.
Is this her? And then we started laughing. We're like snickering, right, laughing. And you see this motherfucker lean over and he's like, and you just see him waft, bro, like freaking take a whiff, whiffy wafts, man. And he was like, "You should smell spaghetti, bro." I was like, "We're like, oh,
he actually did it, you know.
I smelled it." Oh,
Yo.
that was hilarious.
Oh man. Yeah. You can't say no shit like that, man. Motherfucker gonna really try it, man. Shit.
Hell yeah.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah, that girl tried to kiss me. I knew that girl since elementary school.
So crazy.
And the homie that lived there at the house was like, "Hey, somebody wants to see you." And I was like, "Who?" Right? Because we ended up crashing that party because we just saw that they was having a function, and we're just like, "Oh shit, let's go say what's up to him." Because we knew the dude anyway. We're like, "Yo," and they were like, "Oh shit," right? And they told us to come in there. You know, we're battling all these drunk people because they're having like a '90s party or some shit like that, and they had like freaking cardboard on the ground and shit like that. So you know, naturally,
So
it was
the
like
real people come in, you know.
to me, Jarrell and Mitchell. Me and Jarrell and Mitchell over there, and we were just in there. And yeah, the party went on, and this one girl, he's like, "Hey, someone wants to see us." Like, I was like, "Who is this?" And it was that girl from like elementary school, and she was already faded, bro. She was faded. She was all right. And so we started dancing. And she was getting real rough. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Oh," and then yeah, we got really heated, and she tried to go for it. And I freaking pushed her face to the side. I put her face to the side. I was like, "Nope."
Damn.
Yeah, that was funny. And then what's funny about it is that Mitchell and Jarrell saw that shit.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, hold on, they saw you first.
They did they did the classic homie shit like like, it was like, "Oh!" I didn't hear them, but because the music was all loud and shit. But I knew I seen it. I seen the laughter.
Oh damn.
That's funny. They were just laughing, like, "Oh my god!" And after I was done, they were like, "Damn, dude, what the hell?"
Pushed her face. She was
face.
ugly?
She wasn't ugly, no.
You just wasn't feeling the drunk situation.
I wasn't trying to kiss her. Yeah, no, man. Don't do that.
Fucking stand-up guy over here.
I don't do that. I might have had a girlfriend at the time.
I understand. Yeah. Righteous.
Just dancing. But,
dancing. We're just dancing.
She's just putting it on, though.
That's funny.
Put it on thick. I was like, "Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop."
Lay that body on me. Yeah, dude.
I don't know how we got to that, but
we started going in about the party and shit. Fucking Chris had to pay spaghetti smelling.
Hey, producer thoughts, bro. That's it.
Producer thoughts for real. You can hear your blood pumping. That's some producer thoughts shit.
Hey, no, it really was. That, man. Imagine that's like creating in the box, right? Like having a soundless, like no sound, but we have like actual instruments. Like imagine being in there recording shit. That'd be crazy. Or I don't know, would you be able to get the resonance? What is it called? We were talking about this before on one of the podcasts, where you pop a balloon, you get the reverb of the area.
Oh, for real? Like mathematically and shit?
Well, you can do that if you record a snippet of that, like of you like popping that balloon in an area, and you get the recording of the space. You can actually put that in a program into. It used to be on the reverb thing here, on Logic, reverb plugin, but you can get that specific reverb, like of where you're at. So if you use that for like post, and you want to do some more like post editing with more lines, like say if you want the actor or whatever to come in and input some more lines to the movie or video or
ADR.
whatever. ADR, yeah. Yeah, you can do that. You just get that clip that you recorded when you pop the balloon in that space, and then you just put it on there, and then it'll get that same.
That's dope.
So, yeah, I forgot what the specific name of it is, but I haven't used it. I haven't, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So yeah, but that's possible. But imagine having that, to have it that clean, and then just inputting that on your sounds. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't done it
and
yet.
for it to fucking be. The thing I like about delays, reverb, and compression is when it's timed up nice. Because you
Yes.
had reverb bleed too much, delay bleed too much, and then fucking the knee and the threshold or what's the shit where you got like the ratio? The ratio. If the ratio and the knee are fucked up to the attack and release on the compression, then it don't hit right. You know what I mean? Like it just timing is so important in all those aspects.
Yeah, I think I've been having a lot of problems with that recently. So what I've been doing is just printing it and then cutting and fading the end of it. If it's not like, if it goes over, like if I don't want it to go into the next, I guess I should say thought or like
idea.
There you go.
And it's funny that when I hear the word thought by itself, I think of THOT.
Yeah, I was like women, the other type of woman.
Yeah. As soon as I hear thought by itself, I don't hear thought. I hear thought.
Thoughts. I hear thought.
You know what I'm saying?
Thought.
Fuck, man.
Nah, why is that a word?
Man, hey.
Yeah, it's fine. That's
acronyms. Okay. Acronyms for everything. Because that hoe over
there. That's funny, man. Fucking thotty.
Thotty McThotterson.
All right, so you went skydiving.
Oh,
what is the biggest thing that you took away from that? Like we were talking about, like how
women don't like roaches.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro, you're crazy.
Yeah. I'll save that for another one. But the main thing I took from it, the main thing I took from it is fucking. It's dope to look at these. I'm glad I got the video. Like, don't do it without the video. It's no point, in my opinion. You gotta have the video. Yeah, you can relive it in your mind, but you're gonna get old. You're gonna forget shit. You're gonna lose brain cells. And when you always gonna look at a fucking video, just like how fucking Justin pointed out, he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Dang, dude, you look happy as fuck." And I was like,
"You look happy as fuck, dude." Your smile was to your ears, bro. You said, "Oh shit!" Like your eyes, you said, "Oh," like you looked like he was in Willy Wonka's factory, bro.
Augustus Gloop.
Yeah, he's like Husky. A fat ass Augustus. Like Husky as Augustus. I want to drink the chocolate.
Yeah. This shit go full circle.
That ass jumped in the river.
He did. He want that shit so bad. Then he got sucked up by the tube. Oh shit. Fuck, man. Damn. Yeah, dude. Nah. Like, and that's the funny part. Like, so like they sing you the video, but then they got their little music to it, and all whatever the fuck. And I'm like,
yo,
you can't sing.
Just delete that real quick. Nah.
I'm like, nigga, I'm a producer, my nigga. You definitely ain't gonna look at my jump to y'all little sound like the old ass Windows Media Player song.
Oh, that's probably what it is. They got that XP shit. Fucking Windows XP default.
Oh shit. But yeah, the video they sent me is like 5 minutes and shit. And so like that's the beginning where they just show you jumping out, and then like they show the jump, and then they go back and show me like walking up, hey, who we got today? And then getting on the plane, and then being on the plane, and then looking out the windows of the plane, then jumping out again, and then landing, then getting to the ground and all that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna milk this. Like, you know what I mean? Cause nigga, this shit, the whole experience is crazy. Like, we're gonna show this little jump right here. Then we're gonna put it to the sky's the limit because you know my brain works as a fucking. You said something else earlier today, and my brain just already went to a song. That's how I work with my brain. Like you say something and it triggers a song reference. But yeah, man, when I look at that, soon as they strapped me up in the harness, I really didn't sit down because I didn't want to sit down with the shit. It was too tight around your nuts. So I didn't sit down. I was standing up for like the next 30 minutes until we got to go do the thing. But the biggest takeaway, I ain't gonna even draw it out, is that they got to get a little of this backstory because we talk about being little brother syndrome on here a lot, nigga. 6 years younger, and even talk about the Husky shit can probably help somebody one day because that was an insecurity I held on me, and I never talked about it out loud, you know. But
I did, yeah.
You did talk about it.
No, I mean, I didn't talk about it before because nobody else had that shit. Everybody else was skinny.
See what I'm saying?
If they were fat, they didn't say that shit to me. I didn't say that shit to anybody else. Like, hey, man, I wear Husky pants, bro. Like, I didn't say that. Like, who says that shit? Exactly. But hey, how you doing? I'm Ed. I wear size H. Like, what do you wear? Don't make fun of me.
7 standard. Fuck you, man.
I wear regular kid ass pants, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Motherfucker. Shit. You see what your parents look like. I don't know why I got these husky ass jeans. But
I was hungry. I don't care. I like it.
Growing up, I wanted to fucking skydive. And like I asked my brother, we had 7. I was 7, he was 13. And he asked me like, oh, what do you want to do when you get over, kind of thing, blah, blah. And I said, I want to be like you, Lil. And he looking at me like, nah, you don't want to be like me. And I'm like, nigga, what you talking about, nigga? You my older brother, nigga. You cool, nigga. What's Nah, you want to be like you when you get older. And I'm like, nigga, I don't even know what I am. Nigga, how the fuck I'm going to be like me? Nigga, what the fuck you talking about? That don't make sense. I know what you is. I see. So, you know, growing up thinking that you want to be like your brother your whole life until like, you know, later teens. That nigga ditched me a couple times. That shit made me mad. So I was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Brother shit. But it's like, when I got older, it was like, okay, what are the things that differentiate? Like, I was real good at Halo. I was real good at Madden. I was real good at NBA Live. Like, you know, there was things that my brother was cool at, but there was things that I was real good at, you know? And so it helped me differentiate, like, nigga, this is me. And so back when he said he didn't want to go skydiving, I took that as, I don't want to go skydiving because I would be like my brother, blah, blah. So growing up, I didn't want to get a motorcycle because my brother don't want to get a motorcycle. But fuck that, nigga. I went and bought a motorcycle. I went and started doing all the shit that I'm going to do. My brother don't like raves, nigga. I like raves. I'm going to raves. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I've been handling all kind of business, man. I've been handling my business. And I'm like, I sat there and I'm like, okay, if I'm be going back to the Des, right? I don't want to let this trip feel like it was a burnt mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing happened that I really wanted to happen, you know? Mm-hmm. But I'm on the right path for it to still happen. You feel me? Like, I built up a good foundation and momentum that as long as I keep trucking and refine some things that I do, then we could really get some digital products and all this shit so we could maintain a lifestyle off this shit versus going back to the rat race. And so I'm like, the weekend before last, I was driving down and I seen motherfuckers falling out the sky. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm looking at all these bright shits and I'm like, these niggas, are they skydiving right here? I'm like, oh shit. So I go down to LA, do the weekend. Now I'm coming back up for the weekend. I'm like, then I see the billboard. 702. Real easy ass number. 702-30-9000.
Yeah. Are you drunk? 44444 if you're drunk. Aladdin's gonna get your bail bond.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like,
Vegas, man. Vegas.
So I'm in the crib and I'm doing my work throughout the week and shit. And then I fucking did a tarot reading with one of the girls who do Twitch and shit. She started giving me some game and she was talking about like, oh, I played a food card and another card, which is basically like saying like jumping off into new adventures, getting out of your comfort zone. You got to fucking follow your fucking heart and fucking like, my question to her was like, should I still split my attention between gaming and music or go all in on music? And the fucking shit basically said like, go all in on music. Cause the six kept saying like, you're going to be creating something, you know, beauty and you know how to create beauty. And she said, when you think about it, she's like, I'm getting water energy from this. She's like, fucking fighting games is fire, like Aries energy, because you're fighting, like, you know what I mean? But like music is you're creating beauty, like, you know what I mean? You know what beauty looks like and you know how to create it. And I'm like, fuck. But it was also an analogy for like, you know, if I should shoot my shot to, you know what I mean? Because the one analogy thing she said in the shit, she said when you look at the reward and the thing, she said, like, you want all this beauty that you can get from this, but you got to be the fool to go do all this shit. And you can't get this without doing this, which is being taking the risk, jumping out of your comfort zone, and fucking, you can't get the reward without taking the risk. And I'm like, fuck. All right. So I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna go all in on this music. I got the loop station. I'm getting on the shot. I got a mixer today. So now the stream can hear what the loop station does. Because once again, you don't know everything you don't know until you get the shit. And then, so on Wednesday, I'm like, nigga, I always said I wanted to fucking go skydiving. I'm like, but I always said it, you know? Like, what's the difference now, nigga? Like, stop being a bitch, nigga. Like, what's stopping you? I'm like, before what's stopping you was money, right? Oh, nigga, I ain't got enough money to do that. And then when I had enough money, I'd be like, well, I ain't got enough money to spend on that, and because it ain't gonna come back, you know? But then I was getting enough money. I'm like, nigga, you been working, you been doing all this shit. You got enough money to fucking do the shit.
If you don't mind me asking, how much is it?
You gonna basically spend like $300.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It makes sense though, right? With for the gas and then like the
you pay for the fuel.
The fuel,
and,
yeah. That's a gas.
It's $200. Yeah, same shit. But it's $200 normally, right? It's a $200 tandem jump, $200. The Groupon makes it $150, $142. You got to put down a $50 deposit. How when it gets stuck, like in certain spots, because I'm. Right, so you pay $140 and you pay a $50 deposit. You get your $50 back the next day, and then you buy your fucking footage. The cheapest footage is $88. So you're gonna spend $100 on the footage, right? So, okay, so it's $250. So if you would have bought it straight up, you'll pay $200 for a tandem ticket, and then the $88 plus the $10 for fuel. So that's $98 plus $200, right?
Three something.
So then you save $50 by doing a Groupon because you're gonna spend like $250.
And the Groupon works for one person.
Groupon works for one person.
They're trying to make their money. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So,
damn.
So boom, you do that. Bob, you spend your $250, and but yeah, so I did that on Wednesday, and I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna do this shit. So then on Wednesday night, I'm trying to like scheduling and shit, and like you can't schedule the Groupon through their website and shit. Oh, you got to call us back between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? So now you feel like you spent your money on some shit you can't use yet. And like, nigga, hold up, nigga, I spent this money, nigga. So then Thursday come and I'm like, try to do the shit, and then I finally get on the whole phone with them, and they're like, oh, well, did you want to come tomorrow or Saturday or what day? And I'm like, nigga, tomorrow, nigga, I want to do this shit. And then I was looking the fucking shit. They couldn't even jump on Thursday because it was raining. And like the wind shit. And Friday was supposed to rain again. So I was like, yeah, nah, make it Saturday and all that. Then I was going to go kick it with Ray for Ray gathering in Chino. Right. So fucking, I'm like, yeah, make it Saturday, put all the shit. I paid the deposit, bop. So I'm like, nigga. I said, I'm going to do that. I always wanted to do it. And now I'm finally going to fucking do it. Like, we scheduled the shit, bop. So fucking Friday when I'm fucking hearts tripping while we playing Apex and shit. And Phil hit me up. Remember Phil from Geek Squad?
Yeah.
Phil from Geek Squad was like, hey man, you said you was in Vegas, right? I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, me and Jill about to roll out there. We still in Victorville right now. I'll hit you up when we get out there. So while we was playing Apex, he hit me up. So I'm like, all right, for sure, y'all. I'm gonna get off in the next one. That's why I was like, boom. And then when I went to get off, I started trying to fucking breathe because I felt my shit from the game that I was playing. So I'm drinking water. I'm doing all kind of shit. And then fucking, he hit me up. He's like, hey, and I'm like, all right, man, let me just get my composure. He's like, oh man, but like, if you can't come, like, I'll just try to come next week. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna come regardless. I just trying to get my heart right real quick before I drive, you know? So, yeah. Dude, I'm fucking sitting over here for like 20 minutes. I'm taking a shit. I'm feeling like I gotta throw up. And I'm backing out of the bathroom, drinking water. I'm just fucking like trying to breathe and all this shit. And then fucking, when I hit him back up, like, hey man, you up, man? Take me like 20 minutes to get to the Rio. And he's like, He's like, man, we got in late, man. We probably gonna go to sleep. I'm like, oh, for sure. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, nigga, it took me 20 minutes to calm my heart down. And I know what to do this time. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, I'm jumping out of a plane tomorrow, nigga. I hope I ain't got like high blood pressure. Remember we was talking about that hypoglycemia and all that other shit? I'm like, nigga, if I got some shit fucked up and I go to jump out and nigga have a heart attack, like that'd be fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be cool because I die smiling, but like it's fucked up, like, you know? So I'm like, nigga, if I had to do all this just to drive to the fucking hotel, nigga, I might as well drive to the fucking hospital. Like, let's see what the fuck's up. Like, you know? So
Right.
I drove to the hospital. I was there for like 4 hours. They took all my shit, took the x-ray of my shit and all the shit. And the fucked up part is that this is what I don't like about it, is that your heart is tripping at the crib and you feel your heartbeat through your throat, like you short breath, all this, right? But you gotta be cool enough to drive to the hospital. So when you relax and get cool enough to drive to the hospital, you're no longer in that state that they need to diagnose you in to get what is really going on with you. That's what's whack. So they took all my shit and said, hey, man, you good and all this shit. And I'm just like, well, I'm finna fucking jump, nigga. Fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
So next morning come, I'm singing my boot up. I'm singing all kinds of songs and shit, getting ready to do my shit, you know? And then fucking I passed up the spot, come back to it, boom, boom, go in the shit, pop, pop. I already told you what happened with the pop, pop. Yeah, you know, because we on here. You know what I mean? You know, might be some motherfuckers tuning in. You know. Woo.
Oh man,
that's funny as shit. So anyway, that was the funny part too, because on Wednesday I made that decision, and on Thursday I shot my shot. That was funny because it's like, hey, I already had the confidence to do my other shit. Then why not just shoot my shot too? Fuck it. But
wait, you shot your shot?
Yeah, I shot my shot.
Good.
We'll talk. We'll talk off here.
We'll get a round of Apex or something after this one.
But I do what I say I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is like, if it is what it is, then it is what it is. If it ain't what it ain't, then it ain't what it ain't. But I know that in order for anything to move, it's gonna be moving if I move it, because masculine and feminine, just like how we was talking about. Feminine is indirect, masculine is direct. And if we want the dynamics to be, in my opinion, balanced properly, then I got to do the stuff. I got to do step up to the plate and do the whole present. You know what I mean? Like it's the onus is on me, because if I flip it, then that means that she got to get into her masculine to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I go to fucking jump, and I'm jumping with a couple from Dallas and an Asian girl from fucking Michigan. And so we out there chilling. I'm asking them like, hey, when y'all make this decision, like the dude asked them, and the couple was like, oh, we made like 2-3 weeks ago. Asked the Asian girl. The Asian girl said she made this like 2 months ago. And then they asked me, and I'm like, Wednesday. And this is now Saturday, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, Asian girl said her parents bought her all, like, the whole package, like, all the camera angles and all that shit. And they was like, we ain't tripping as long as you do it. Like, hey, as long as it ain't us. And then fucking with the couple, it was the girl's idea, but, like, the dude was doing it, like, you know, to please his girl and shit. And it's funny because when we was looking at their videos, you could tell, like, he was trying to be cool, you know what I mean? But you could tell you that shit, nigga. You know he was, but he got to be cool in front of his girl. I know the code, nigga.
He's like, I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah,
because I'm good. He's all.
Straight up, man. So,
yeah, man.
Oh fuck! So we go to fucking get on the plane and shit, and the dude come and like, dude, I've been geeking this whole time. I'm smiling and shit. And the fucking stoic Australian dude, he's over there like, at first he was just being like, hey, what's up, man? My name's Kel and all that. And I'm like, where you from? Inglewood, blah blah. Oh man, we like think about Vegas, blah blah. And then like, but by me being so geeked, he couldn't resist breaking down and being like, man, this dude's too cool, man. And then he'd be like, these are the jumps I remember, bro. And then the girl sitting next to me, like I got the pictures too. And the girl sitting next to me, she's like, that's a real compliment from Kel. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, because he's normally stoic and serious faced, and he's just like, up another jump. And like, but you brought something out of him. I'm like, yeah, this is what I normally do. But then when I told Creo the story yesterday, I'm like, yeah, the girl said it's rare because my energy was too good. The dude's, he's like, man, this guy, I'm just feeding off his energy, man. He's too positive and all this. And he's like, man, that must be a good compliment. He's like, but when it comes to Tim, that's not a rare compliment that Tim gets. And I'm like, fuck, when I think about it, I'm like,
yeah, Tim. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing, bro.
I bring the best out of people, man. What can you say? What can you say? Hey, man, at the end of the day, I spent fucking $250. I'm going to have fun. I don't care what nobody say.
It's a lot of money.
You feel me? I'm going to have fun. I don't care what nobody say. And so hopefully you have fun too, but I'm going to have so much fun that you're going to end up having fun because I'm having so much fun. But yeah, dude, so we on the plane right there and all the shit. And I got a lot of the video and shit. Oh, man. And I'm like, I said it right before I got on the plane. I was like, my family don't want me to do it, but I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, I'm doing this shit. So then we get on the fucking plane. He's doing the video and shit. He's like, all right, you going to sit back? The shit's kind of loose. We sitting there. And I'm all smiling. We got all this on video. That's the best part. So we got all this video. I'm smiling while we're in the plane. He's looking out the window. I'm like, yeah, God, I'm just geeking. And then the couple, they over there just like holding on to this shit. The other girls like this. The other girl, everybody's looking up and praying kind of shit. Like everybody's having a moment. And I'm sitting there like, I can't wait. We about to go. So we go to fucking jump on the shit. We go to the fucking edge of the shit. And this is the jacket. This ain't the jacket. It's over there. But fucking, I got the jacket on and I got the little fucking shit. And then he's like, all right, before you get out, first you put your head out, then you dangle your feet over like you're sitting at the dock of the bay. Take it down. And then you put your head back. And then we're going to go. And then you get to see that part of the video, nigga, because we just fucking go. And I'm like, nigga, when you look at it, like the picture I frozen on is us leaving out the plane, nigga. That the plane is right there. And we're down here going away from the plane. And there's no parachute. And so when you see the video, I told my brother it was like 7 seconds, like 1,000, 2 1,000. But when we was watching the video on showing Creel and them niggas yesterday, nigga, that shit look like a cool 10, 12 seconds before the shit fucking comes out, homie. Because we're falling so long. And I'm just like, yeah, I did it. We did it. Yeah. And this nigga's making hand signs. He's like, yeah, 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 yeah. He's doing all these hand signs. Yeah. And then when we pulled out the parachute, he's like, got his hand out. I'm like, yeah, we do that there. Then he give me this shit so I can pull the thing and fucking turn the angles. I did that twice, nigga. And you get to see it. You get to see, nigga. The pictures are dope because it's GoPro and it's fisheye lens, and it got parts where you see the blue skies in the clouds, but then you see the ground and the mountains from the desert, and you see us in the middle of that shit. Nigga, it looks so dope because it's like, oh, nigga, like. And so when you see me pulling on the right hand thing, and it's making us do a 360 turn. The whole angle changes because with corkscrew turn. Oh man. But that moment, this is what it is. The part where we're sitting on the inside and he's like, all right, man, when we open up the thing, you're gonna slide forward. Because he had an Australian accent. We're gonna slide forward and just remember what we told you. Hold on to the thing, put your head back, dangle your feet. And I'm like, all right. So boom, as soon as the thing come to slide forward, that nigga kind of like, he's behind you. And like, there's no time to bitch out because that thing opens up and you start sliding forward, but he's kind of like, yeah, come on, nigga. Yeah, we doing this, nigga. Ain't no backing out now, nigga. There's no backing out. So when you start going forward and he puts you out there, you're like, oh shit. So you dangling off your feet. And then I'm looking down and he's like, all right, nigga, put your head back. So you put your head back. And then boom. And so that moment of when we go and we like do a little revolution first before we land flat and start falling, well, we're doing that twirl thing. And I'm like, nigga, that's what I'm tripping off of. I'm like, oh. And then we balance out to where we're like this. When we're like this, I'm like, oh. Then he spent us like this. So now we're going like this. That shit was fun. I'm like, oh. So then we're going, and then we're just falling. We're just falling. And the shit is just, and my eyes were open because I could see shit. But when you look at the video, it just looked like I'm like this. It just looked like my eyes is closed as fuck because the goggles is holding on to your face like this real hard, nigga. Them goggles is like fucking skin tight. But while I'm falling, nigga, I'm just like, obviously you feel weightless because you're falling out the fucking sky and you feel all the wind. Your face is cold as shit, like fucking freezer burn cold. But you're not really tripping off that because you're falling out the sky. And you just feel so free, man. You feel free as fuck. You feel like, you know how you got the weight on your shoulders? You feel like there's no weight on your shoulders, man. You feel like I was talking to the homie about chronic pain yesterday. He heard this back in 2013 and he still deals with it. I heard my shit in 2014 and I still deal with it. And we was talking about how you still got to live a normal life, but you always are in pain. There's always a piece of pain on you and you just got to act like you're living a normal life. And other people don't understand. Other people say, oh, you don't got back pain. You don't got neck pain. It's like, nigga, you don't know what it's like to just live with this shit. And so I was telling him, I was like, dude, but when you jump out that plane, nigga, you ain't thinking about the neck pain. You ain't thinking about your bills. You ain't thinking about shit. And it was a point where you just feel like when I did it, I was like, I was telling my brother, because my brother was like, man, I wouldn't do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I got to make sure the chute gonna open and all this kind of shit. I was like, dude, I was stepping out on faith, man. I was like, hey, if it was meant for me to go out that way, then hey. But I really didn't feel it in my heart that I was going to go like that. I felt like it's something I always wanted to do. And ain't no fear here, homie. Like, I stopped being a bitch a long time ago. Even in the beginning of this year, I got that old girl and I started doing, you know what I mean? Nah, nigga, we ain't on bitch mate shit no more. And so the thing I took away from it the most was that who I am, be who you are, right? Live for yourself. Love, know what you like so you can truly give yourself self-care and self-love. You only know what you tick, like you only know what makes you tick, right? And to deny that of yourself based off of anybody else's perception is cheating yourself because you're putting yourself at a lower version of what you can be because I was living through my brother's lens of, oh, I want to be like my brother. So he don't like skydiving. I don't like skydiving. But no, I'm lying to myself, nigga. I would definitely do it again. I don't have to do it again, but I would do it again. That's the thing about it. And so know who you are. The thing what was funny too was after I jumped, then I talked to the people that I met and all that, blah, blah. After I jumped, then I jumped on the freeway to go to California. So I'm coming to Cali. And then I was headed down to Chino. And then I stopped at Hesperia because I need to get something to eat and get some gas. I go get something to eat. I'll meet at Chipotle. You know where In and Out is and shit. I'm eating Chipotle. And I can see the video. And I look at the video and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm tripping. And I'm like, damn, nigga. And I'm reliving it all again because it just happened 2 hours ago when I was driving. So then I'm like, I was going to show my mama on the way back home. Let me go over there, nigga. So I'll jump back on the freeway going north, nigga. Boom. Went to my mama's crib. Mama, you at the house? Yeah. Open the door. Now I just wanted to go pick up my mixer. So fuck it. I'm like, I need to come pick up my mixer. I walk in the house. She's like, yeah, boo, what? I'm like, it's in the garage. I'll go get it. And then I go get the mixer. I'll come back. She chilling at the table. I'm like, hey, mom, what you doing? So I'm like, look at this real quick. So I give her the phone. She's like, what this? She like put her glasses off. She looking. She's like, I'm like, what? She's like, is that real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So she's looking at it, dude. She's looking at it. I was laughing so much. She was looking at it. She's like, this is real. She's looking. She goes, you crazy. I mean, like, you crazy. I'm like, you funny, mama. I got homies that's telling me that too. I'm like, look at the homie from high school. Nigga, you crazy. I'm like, everybody said it crazy. Like, multiple people. I'm like, see, the reason why I didn't tell you or Lil, I told him right before I got on, I didn't tell you. I had to show you after the fact because I knew you would have. She's like, yeah, you're right. I would have tried to deter you. So she's looking at it and like, she saw the first jump and then she's like, oh my God. She's like, Timothy, this is like a reality show. I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm seeing you walk on the plane, get on the plane, jump out the thing. She's like, oh my God, you wasn't scared? I'm like, no, I always wanted to do this my whole life. I didn't know that. I'm like, Lil knew that. I'm like, but I always wanted to do this my whole life. And she's like, oh my God, you and Nisha, the youngest sister, we're both the thrill seekers. She's like, she went to Brazil and all this. And so she's looking and then she started tearing up. And I'm like, why are you tearing up? Because what? Because like, depending on where you grow up, you don't think this stuff is possible to you. You just see stuff like this on TV. It don't exist to you. And so when I see my kids doing this stuff, it's just like how we don't allow a ghetto mindset. Ghetto means constricted. Ghetto means no level of development. Your stunted growth. That's what ghetto means. Like you're confined to this space and you only can rise to this amount. And you got a cap. You have a cap. There is a ceiling. But when you expand your horizons, it's deeper than that. And so she's looking and she's like, to see, like, she's like, my niece or her grandbaby has already been to the Bahamas at 2 years old. And it's like, to know that, like, you always hear like, oh, I'm going to the Bahamas. But like when niggas actually go, it changes in the black person world. Cause it's like, even when you watch Kevin Hart stand up, it's like, oh man, you got a passport. And he was like, what's that? Is that a gun? Like, he was like, niggas didn't talk about passports in the hood. So when you hear the word passport, you don't know what the fuck that is because it's not exposed to you. Because how many niggas is going on vacation in the hood? If you only live in check to check, you definitely ain't going on that damn vacation. So disposable income activities. Then so she started running them down. She's like, well, you did do the thing with the board and the snow stuff. And I'm like, snowboarding? She's like, yeah, you did do that. And you got the skateboard thing too. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so. She's like, oh my God, Tim, you crazy. She's like, but the Bible do say, according to your faith, be it unto you. I'm like, yeah, I say, yes, I stepped out on faith. You're like, you scared? I'm like, no, I stepped out on faith. I said, I put my life in God's hands. I said, Jesus, take the wheel. I was like, dude, if God want me to go out like that, then hey, it is what it is. But I just felt it in my heart that it wasn't. And if it's something I always wanted to do, then why the fuck not? And so she's looking at it and she's like, now she kind of tripping. She's like, went from crying, like sentimental to like, She said, like, this is a shock. Timothy's is like shocking to my system. It's like, my brain has to process everything that's going on because you're my son. And I'm like, damn. Then she start tripping. She's like, now I got a pain in my chest. It's like, it's anxiety. She's like, I got to do my breathing exercises now.
Oh, what?
I'm like, dang. She said, because I wasn't prepared for this. I'm like, well, yeah. And she's like, and it would have been different if you would have just came here and said, well, hey, mom, I went skydiving. And I would have been like, yeah, right. Like, but I see this. It's in my face. And she's like, send me the video. I was like, mom, I can't send you the video yet. She's like, why not? I'm like, because I haven't downloaded it yet. Like they sent in a Dropbox thing and I don't have a gig worth of space to download it yet. And she's like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm like, what? You going to log into my thing? She's like, no, I'm going to record it, push play, and I'm going to record it on my phone. So I press play and she's recording it like this. I'm like, what you going to do now? I'm going to send it to all my kids. I'm like, I can't wait till you go talk to my sisters about it. I'm going to send it to all three of them. Talking about sending it to the two daughters of my brother. So then she sent it to her. She's like, look what your brother did. Your brother went skydiving. My youngest sister like, how you feel about that? She was tripping. So then, of course, she had me do some chores and move some shit around the crib before I left. And then, like, the whole time she kept going, you could tell she's like reliving it again. Every couple of minutes, woo! She was like, tripping hard. And I'm just laughing. She's like, I don't see what's so funny. She was really bad. I was like, it was like, I didn't even know you was gonna do this. I was like, hey, mama, but don't even trip. I put you down as the emergency contact because I know you answer the phone. I was like, Lil, and she looked at me like, nigga, if they would have called me on some negative shit, I would have been so mad at you because I didn't even know it was happening. And I'm like, hey, but I had to do it the proper way because you would have threw my energy off if I would have fucking talked to you or my brother before, nigga. I had to make this decision for me, and so ultimately. That is the thing, man. It's the most bliss to know that I did something for me. Like that was the main thing when I was in that 7-year relationship. It's like you can be pouring so much into somebody and then that other person ain't pouring into you. But you're pouring into them thinking that, well, you know, to reciprocate, if we're in a relationship, if I'm pouring to you, if you operate on to treat people the way you wish to be treated, now obviously you'll think that it'll rub off that they'll do it. Not the case. So that leap of faith, man, jumping into the unknown, the unknown void, shit that don't make sense to you in the beginning, but it makes sense later. Like, I definitely was feeling the whole situation with the situation of the situation of the situation. And I did what I did on the thing, and I did what I needed to do. And it's like right here where I'm at, I can't live with regrets now. That's the best part about it. Because I don't want to live in what if. What if is regret. What if is like, you know, all them what ifs was, oh, what if I would have stayed at uni and I could have got that Fulbright scholarship to Florida State because they had to connect and blah, blah. What if? And I still got hurt at VBC. So is that my what if? Like, okay, I could have got the scholarship and went to that school and then got hurt the same way I got hurt at VBC? Or like, you know what I mean? Because I fucked up my spine at VBC. So it's like.
You was playing football on VVC?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I got fucking taken off in the ambulance.
Oh shit!
I fucking went head up. We got we probably had like pads for maybe 3 days at this time, and so we had to do this Oklahoma drill. Oklahoma drill is fucking. Bruce was the quarterback at the time from Louisiana. That was back. The popular song at the time was "Now Bring It Back to the Bottom of the Map." Bring it back to the bottom of the map. Oh shit! Go DJ. That's my DJ. Niggas pull up to practice and everybody. That's some good practice days. But Bruce had a cannon, man, from Louisiana, big country looking ass nigga. And so he'll stand like 10 yards away from you. They'll say, "Set hike," turn around, throw the ball to you like you're back in the backfield, right? Throwing what's it called? The linebacker is going to come straight down the fucking shit at you, nigga. So you got to catch the ball and turn up field. And this nigga's already coming at you. And y'all got to go head up. So now, you know, new school. These niggas don't know me. I'm trying to make a name for myself. I'm like, nigga, I'm finna run over whoever they put in front of me. I don't give a fuck if it's the biggest nigga. Because the reason why I always put my all into it, all of my coaches always said, you know, Great House is small, but Great House got hard. Because they knew if you put the biggest nigga up, I'm still going to give my 110. It's going to be my 110. Whatever my 110 is going to bring to the table, it's my 110. And then whatever happens, happens. And I pop out, even when I got laid out by big niggas, I always pop right back up. And so with this shit, fucking, there's like, this dude, he was like a strong safety. So I went head up with a linebacker, and you could tell when certain niggas just don't like you because you're you know what I mean? And now you gotta play football because niggas is like low key hating on you. But I dipped on the linebacker dude, so I was like, yeah, I was feeling kind of cool. So then the fucking strong safety guy came, and I'm like, man, I'm finna dip on this nigga too. So boom, I catch the ball, we going at each other, and then I got ahead of myself. I got beside myself because I lost all technique because I was focused too much on trying to dip on this fool. And I lack proper technique. When you're a running back, you're supposed to get lower and keep your head like this. So when you dip on a nigga, like the way your neck compresses and all that shit is all in line to where your shit ain't gonna get fucked up. But this is what I did. I was running at a nigga so hard, I wanted to dip on a nigga like how they do on Madden, like where they put their head down, which you're not supposed to do. So I fucking put my head down. My head hits this nigga's right shoulder.
Oh, it compresses like this.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit.
So, nigga, I ran up to hit this nigga. This nigga's shoulder gets fucked up. When I hit him, boom, nigga, I felt the fucking electrical signal go, boom, shock in my head. You feel the pain, goes down my back, bop, and then it stopped in the middle of my back. I hit him, boom. We both like go like that. I go back. I do a backflip, and then I get up, and I try to walk. And they like, get down. Because they know it's a fucked up hit, you know what I mean? So I go to lay down. Then I'm laying down. And I'm looking at the sky, nigga. And then I have my Kill Bill moment.
Oh, shit.
because I can't move my feet. And I'm tripping now. Now I'm tripping because they say, get down. And I go to lay down on the ground. Now I'm like, I'm trying to wiggle, just move my feet. But like that tingling is still tingling in the middle of my back. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm chilling there. I'm trying to move my feet. And I'm like, the fuck is this?
Damn.
No, that's how it happened. I hit, I couldn't move. Then I tripped out. Then I was able to get up. Then they told me to get down because they know I couldn't move. Boom. Yeah. Either way, I was on the ground. Felt like 30 seconds of I can't move shit but my eyes. It was scary shit in my life. So
all because of improper technique of hitting.
All because of improper technique. Keep your head fucking level, nigga. Don't dip your head. You're gonna paralyze yourself. And thank God I'm not fucking paralyzed.
Yeah,
I was for 30 seconds. And so I'm on the ground. They fucking cut my fucking jersey up and all this shit. And then they fucking take me out on the stretcher. Now, my grandpaps wasn't even at practice. He's coming to pick me up. My grandpaps comes in. Hey, where's my grandson? Oh, you didn't hear?
Oh, that's the worst, bro.
Right? Like, hear what, nigga? What? Oh, you got hurt real bad. And then took him off in the ambulance. Nigga, what? Like, nigga, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Boom. They took me to Desert Valley.
Oh, shit.
I'm in Desert Valley. I still had my girl at the time. I'm in Desert Valley. I'm chilling there with my shirt off, with my pads still on my legs and shit. And I think my grandpa showed up first, then my mama, and then my girl. And then fucking everybody's mad at me though.
You worked at Best Buy at the time, no?
Yes, sir.
You came into work, you had a thing, right? Didn't you have like a neck brace for a while?
Yes, sir.
I remember that.
Man, I've been through a lot, man.
But I don't remember why. I don't think I remember asking you why. You probably just said something like funny or some shit, and then didn't.
That's why everybody was mad at me though, because when I'm in Desert Valley, I'm all cracking jokes, and everybody's looking at me like, "Nigga, you could be paralyzed, nigga. You could be dead." Like, and I'm like, "But I'm not though." So my mama wasn't happy, and then Grandpa's is looking at me like, "Nigga, I'm responsible for you, nigga." And I got to look at my daughter right now. My daughter's pissed at me and you, nigga. And I was responsible. I feel responsible for this. That's what my grandpa was looking at me. So he's like, he came over to me. And then the coach came up there. Coach Who from BC. He came to the hospital too. So grandpa's just like, now, Timothy, you know you're a great house. And I'm like, yeah. And you know I've been to your high school games. I got footage and we all know you got heart. We know you put your heart into it and you try your hardest. I'm like, yeah. We know that, Granddaddy. What you telling me this for? I'm just saying, man. You know you're smart. You're smarter than a lot of people. I'm like, man, what the fuck is you saying, man? I'm just saying, like, you just might want to think about other options. As far as like education and things, like if this is the right thing for you, man. Because, you said you was paralyzed, right? I'm like, yeah. He was like, now imagine if you didn't get the feeling back. I'm like, yeah. He's like, now, this wouldn't be quitting. Because, we ain't quitters in our family. That's the thing. Like, anytime you say we got to quit at something, it's like, we don't quit. Like, it's like, it's not quitting. It's just being smart. It's like, as long as he's like, you're already smart. As long as you get a degree in something in computers or business, you can make money for life. But this right here is putting your body on the line. And sometimes, is it worth it? And I'm like, it's like, just think about it. I ain't telling you what to do, but you can still be successful and get your family out if you do business or computers. And so, nigga, I'm sitting there in the room thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? This nigga hit me with that old heavy ass shit. And I'm like, damn, nigga. Because I bounced back from all kind of injuries before, but this shit was like, nigga, I know what paralyzed feel like. And that's some scary shit, nigga.
You ever think that this hit, if you didn't get hit this way, then the car accident wouldn't be as bad?
I never even thought about that kind of shit, to be honest. Like, until you said something right now, I never correlated the accidents and other shit with that moment. Like, I've shunned that moment out of my brain because I had to walk away from the game. So I don't really think about that moment Because I sat there and I was just like, once again, impulse. I could have slept on it and shit, but I'm sitting there with no shirt, cold in the fucking shit. Like, nigga, I do know what it's like to be paralyzed. Like, is it worth it? Like, then I'm looking at my grandpa's face. I'm looking at my girl's face and my mama's face, and my mama just pissed, nigga. Like, pissed and concerned at the same time. And I told Coach Hughes, I'm like, hey man. He's like, we'll always be here if you change your mind. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna focus on my academics. I hate that fucking phrase, but that's what I said to him. Like, I think I'm just gonna focus on my academics. I didn't want to say I was gonna quit the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
quit's not a good word. I don't like that word.
Dude, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if I was paralyzed, I would be making music. You feel me?
That's not true.
Well, I wouldn't be making music like this.
Yeah, this way. You wouldn't be doing it. Because I've seen people using their mouths to control some shit.
That's real shit.
And they got that Vocally, what is it called?
The Vocally thing, the double thing, whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I will be making it if I was paralyzed, straight up.
Don't say don't say that.
But yeah, man, those moments like that, man, them pivotal moments where like I face like critical shit with life-changing shit, and I know what it's like to be paralyzed where you can't move your body and all you can move is your eyes. It's like that moment of jumping out the plane is like, nigga,
everything's gone. All those things, the
only thing that matters is right now.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is right now, because right now is gonna control what that future gonna look like. All the other shit already happened, so like the only thing you're supposed to take from it is the lesson. You don't need to relive those moments because they ain't here no more. You gotta live in the now. So that was the most present I ever felt. It was the most free, liberating I ever felt. It really felt like when I was up there and I was saying like, I did it! We did it! You the motherfucking man, Cal! I'm the motherfucking man! Like I'm geeking and I'm just like, it's like, when motherfucking Rocky gets to the top of the stairs and jumps, like it's that fucking, it's triumph. It's like nothing can stop you. You are the one that stops you. And the one that stops you is the nigga that got the excuses, the doubts, the low self-esteem, the fucking critical, I judging myself too hard person. All that is not built for who you are. And who you are is that free motherfucker. That motherfucker that said, I did it. The motherfucker that said, I can do it. The motherfucker that said, I will do it. The motherfucker that didn't give up. Like, that's who you really are. And all this other shit is distraction, man. And it's like, when you really get to see who you are, it's like anything else is uncivilized.
Damn, that shit goes. I'm jealous, man. I want that. I do.
You already got it, though.
I just have to find a way to tap into it.
Man, just like that song said, they get me high like you do. Fucking.
Like I go jump out of a plane. See, I knew it. I knew from before. The only reason why I'm so interested in you doing that, well, it's crazy, but the only reason why I'm interested in it is for that. It is for, and I don't want to take drugs for that, to tell you the truth.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
that's
you don't have to.
Part. I didn't even smoke. I didn't smoke until I got on the freeway.
Yeah, and I saw you smoke.
But that's when I was smoking. I was like, nigga, I gotta smoke now. Nigga, I've done it already. But I didn't want to smoke before because I was like, I didn't want my heart to be tripping or whatever the fuck, But yeah, I didn't have to smoke and I was so happy. I was so geeked. I was high without smoking. But I don't want to jump out of planes every day to get high. But like,
so the flow. Did you experience, like, how was the flow state? And I know you was in flow state, bro. You had to
know it. You know it. Yeah. Flow state extended past the jump. I think I didn't come to like, okay, this is time for real until we got on the van. So
there was no like what is it? There was no, I don't want to say repercussion, but you know what I mean? Like afterwards, like there was nothing, no side effects from it. Like you got like super tired immediately, or like, if you know how somebody exhausts their power, right?
Spirit gun and shit.
Yeah, and it was like a cool down time. Yeah, it was like a cool down time. There wasn't any of that. It was just like,
Remember linguini legs for sure when we had to run it in. I had linguini legs at first because I was like, nigga, how do I walk? You know what I mean? But then you get
yeah.
your legs feeling back. But nah, nothing like that. Nah. When I went, now I remember, so what? I didn't go to sleep because I think I streamed that morning too. I think I streamed at like 4 in the morning or some shit. That's what happened. Didn't the power go? Wasn't
The
that
power went out. The power went
the
out.
internet?
Yeah.
The internet went out. Then I went to the hospital.
Then you
So
went
I
to
went to the
hospital.
hospital. I'm there for 4 hours. I come from the hospital and I stream. I get on here and I play piano. And then I'm like, maybe I should take a nap before I go do the shit. So now I get off stream. I take a 30-minute nap. So I did a 30-minute stream, take a 30-minute nap, woke up, drove to the shit.
You only slept for 30 minutes?
30 minutes because I was in the hospital for 4 hours. And then, yeah, that's all that same night. So I sleep for 30 minutes, wake up,
Damn,
go
man.
do the shit, get off the shit, go get on the motherfucking freeway, drive to Victorville, do that with my moms, drive to Chino, kick it there. I kicked it down there until like 6 p.m. Then I was like, dang, should I go to LA and work or fucking go back up? And I'm like, well, I had to come back for the fucking shit, I thought. So I'm
Yeah.
like, might as well. So I drive back and then like I started feeling like I'm dozing and shit. And I'm like, nah, nigga. So I drop off in like Barstow. Went to go get some food, got my munch on, took a nap. Then I woke up and drove back. And that's why I got here like a fucking 12:30, 1 o'clock, some kind of shit. But that was a
Okay.
long ass day because I only really had 30 minutes of sleep. And then I drove down, kicked it with my mama, kicked it with Creole and everybody else, and then drove back. So I had a whole ass day on 30 minutes of sleep that I needed that fucking 2-hour nap coming back.
Yeah, you said you had a post where you were like, "Oh, it's good to get hugs," because I can
Yeah.
imagine in COVID times you weren't really, because you're a hermit, bro, and I guess you don't get too many hugs in a while. You get this virtual hug, bro.
You know, but like,
But
nah,
yeah,
man, shit. My step-pops was in jail and he was in solitary confinement. And so when I was younger, I researched what solitary confinement does and why it makes people crazy. And the reason why it makes people crazy is because the lack of human interaction. The thing that I researched said, in order for a human to feel sane, they need like 21 reference points of other human beings to feel sane. And what happens in solitary confinement, you don't have a reference of human beings, so you start creating those. That's why they end up being crazy, because their mind created it, because it was forced to, because in a situation where we have to have a reassurance of somebody else, right? The reason why the dog is important in I Am Legend is because that's a reassurance of some other thing beside himself, right? And so with these times, like that's why I was the kind of supervisor I was at Best Buy. That's why I did high fives and hugs to everybody, because I don't know what people are going through in their personal life. But if I know that this is something that's going to help them regardless, because they're going to know that somebody cares and somebody, you feeling that reinforcement, then hey, I did my job on a daily basis. So when I come back to this and it's like, all right, boom, I went through and hey, what up, Creole? What up, Ray? What's up? And like, boom, I'm over there giving, I'm like, dang, nigga, this is a part of it. Because when I was going to shows, nigga, my shirts was, I wore free hug shirts on purpose because I was a nigga that's going to give you the hugs, but then there's a lot of niggas that need hugs, you know what I mean? And so when I was doing that, I'm like, I say that because that was exactly how I was feeling when I was leaving. But then other people need to know that, like, because that's what I tripped off of. Man, I hate fucking, the thing I really hate is being a third wheel, fifth wheel, seventh wheel. And at that shit, I think I was the fucking ninth wheel or some bullshit. And it's like, yeah, because what? Creole, Kenny, Sammy, Ray. Yeah, ninth wheel, my nigga. I hate being any kind of extra wheel. You know what I'm saying?
oh, Ray got a lady too.
It's a situation.
This is a situation,
but you might as well chalk it up to that, because if it ain't available for Tim to go through, then hey, you know, I'm an extra wheel, my nigga. So I hate them moments, because it's like, I know what I could bring to the table. Of course, I bring entertainment, insight, and all that, blah blah. But when I'm in the moments, it always makes me think to myself, like, because this is a thing too, like, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I got a group of homies that's different, some of my homies still do normal shit. Right? Oh man, what you doing? Oh man, I'm at UCLA. I'm doing this. Blah blah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I drive to work. My commute is 2 hours and shit. So I'm 8 to 8 and all that. And then when the weekend come, I'm just so tired that I don't really want to do shit. So I just chill. I'm like, all right. Hey man, got my prison shit. I'm working on that shit. Oh, gangster, hell yeah. But most of the time it's like home life, husband, wife shit. Oh, for sure. Creole. Yeah, man, working, oh shit. But they almost basically like the same shit too, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we do this home life, blah, blah. And then we got our dogs and all this. And I'm like, ah. And then everybody started going in about all the shows they watch, you know, like all these Netflix kind of shows and shit. And I'm just sitting there just like, like, I don't got no input for this. Because when they say, all right, Tim, what you been up to? Well, nigga, I've been putting out music every Friday since October 25th, every week, every Friday. I've been fucking doing a Producer Thoughts podcast with my homie Ed every week. We do this shit every week.
Yeah, we do this shit every week.
You feel me?
We do this shit every
Come
week.
on, motherfuckers. Every week.
Oh, gotta take a shit.
Man, I'm gonna fucking publish that bitch on YouTube, episode 27. You really gotta take a shit?
No.
Oh, you just said come to the privacy. But yeah, so when I go in, then all they can pretty much say is like, hell yeah, Tim, good job, man. Keep doing it. Like, you know? And then everybody else start going, oh man, I'm watching the murders of the Mormons and all this other shit. And I'm just like, yeah, some Netflix documentary shit. But it's like, you know, it's shit that I don't fuck with. I know it's like shit I wouldn't watch, like for real, you know? And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, that's dope. Like, it was cool to come around the homies. And it's like, I know, like, yeah, like, all right, they represent that part of the Best Buy times, you know what I mean? But we're older, and I'm not plugged into the Matrix, you know. And
Yeah,
it's like,
no.
when I'm in those moments, it feel like I'm there, and yeah, I'm there, you know, but it still feels like I'm alone there, you know what I mean? And so when I think about certain people, I be like, damn, man, just act right, because you would have been dope as fuck there. Like, you know what I mean? Because at least somebody would have been there that gets me. You know what I mean? So then when I'm bouncing, like, all right, man, we're finna do this. Like when these little sidebar shits, because there's a lot of moments where like, all right, they talking about Dungeons and Dragons. These niggas is talking about some TikTok shit. And these niggas is talking about some Netflix shit. I'm learning, but I'm interested. Like, you know what I mean? But this ain't no shit that I'm gonna go, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's like that environment where you in a room full of people, but you feel alone, even though you're not alone, but you feel alone because it's the relatability. It's like, if we're gonna look at it on a real core basis, it's like this. The reason why I can't relate to everybody in here is because everybody's not chasing their dream. Everybody's doing what they got to do to make money, to put food on the table, and blah blah. But Kevin O'Leary said it real best. A job is the drug that they give you to forget your dreams. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and start judging and chastising because y'all doing what y'all got to do to make money and live this rat race. And at the same time, this was the first time where I explained what I was doing without the shame. You know how when you explain like, I'm an artist and all this shit, and then they kind of look at you like, oh man, you should get a real job and all this shit. And like you kind of go like, oh no, like, you know. But this time I was like, no, nigga, this is what the fuck I'm doing. Nigga, I've been doing this, and this is what I'm gonna keep doing, and I don't give a fuck. Like, and so niggas can't even give you no, oh, you should give it, because you're saying it so vivid and rugged, like nigga, saying it with your chest, like, nigga, no, nigga, I'm a motherfucking producer, nigga, and I've been doing this shit, nigga. I got my digital products I'm fucking released, nigga. And nigga, we finna be 6-figure earners off of music because we're gonna be able to say that we did this shit off of our passion versus doing it out of obligation. And it's like, when I'm sitting there talking about the skydiving and all that shit, right? Motherfuckers is geeking, but then you can feel the other aspect of the geeking. You know what I mean? Kind of like what you saying, but maybe it's a different version of what you're saying. You're like, man, I'm jealous. But you're saying jealous like, I want to do it because I want to get that. But like, you can tell some of the jealous is like, dang, I want to do that. But then they look at themselves like they can't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because of the stifleness that they say of whatever they got to do to make ends meet. So that's that double-edged sword. Is like, yeah, hey, I'm all for taking care of responsibilities, like 100%. But I really don't feel that this life was meant to be lived as we just supposed to do shit to build other people's kingdoms and never build our own. Because every other job that everybody was there talking about is building somebody else's kingdom.
Yeah.
Every Netflix show that they was talking about is building somebody else's kingdom. When we talk about shit, I'm like, nigga, it's my album, my songs getting put out. Nigga, we got producer thoughts. That's my podcast that we're on. Like, you know what I mean? The fucking cook up sessions is my YouTube show. Like, so when you start going from consumer mindset to investor mindset, you don't got a lot of common with the consumers no more because you like, nigga, I can't spend my time consuming something. If I produce things.
Right.
Y'all buying stuff from the people that produce stuff. And we can all be consumers for the rest of our life, or we could turn into producers. So
I used to hear Creel say that all the time. Like, man, he's like, I wish I had something that I can do to where I can just do stuff like you guys. I was like, you do though, like you do,
and everybody does, but everybody don't got the courage to do it, and that's the part that fucks with me.
Skydiving, right? They don't got the courage to do it. I know, man, that's crazy. That's crazy that you said that about being alone in front of people like that. It's because, like, yeah, the people, and they know that you do music, they try to like tell you, oh, why don't you do something like this? I'm like, and then I'm just like, I don't do that though. Like, I don't do that.
Thank you.
I do this. I don't do that. Like, there's other things that you can do, but.
And I know how niggas look at me because they like, damn, well, Tim could do IT, he can do sales. Like, of course, my nigga, but I know what it's like to have an eye twitch from stress, being a supervisor with 17 people that you're responsible for, making 60 G's a year. But at what cost, my nigga?
Even that too, right? That's not, I mean, it's enough, but is it enough? You know what I mean? In that type of, you know, what you're saying in the consumer, with the consumer mindset, 60 is not going to be enough, right? In California, 60 is not going to be enough.
Hell no.
You need to be over 100,000 to be comfortable, maybe to be comfortable. Maybe 80, I don't know, shit.
I'm glad you know what I felt like when I said fucking being in a room full of people and still feel alone though. And like, I don't care if any of y'all niggas listen to this from the fucking party that I was at, nigga. Like, you can understand what I'm saying. I don't care, nigga, because it's real shit.
Yeah, it's because this is a lonely thing, and we only know about it because we are that. And the people that are listening that are producers or that are, you know, people of their crafts, they know that shit too. Because who else are you going to talk to about it? You do this shit by yourself. We talk to each other. We're not alone when we talk to each other because we, you know, if I was at that party with you, we'd be like, oh shit, we'd be sidebarring all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'd be like, look at, you know what I mean? Or if we're at like a regular party, like, look at these normies. Like, you know what I mean? Not that party that you were at. But
yeah,
you know what
but
I mean?
just another, yeah. For real.
Because I for sure, I would get that a lot at beat showcases. I mean, not that I was alone as a producer, but it's weird because you just go over there and you're like, all right, you listen to it. And then I'd want to leave early because I wanted to go make music because it inspired me. Everybody else was there because they're consuming the music, right? But I consumed it enough to where it influenced me to make my own shit.
Yes.
Man, and that's,
you want to take it, and that's investor mentality because the consumer is just going to take. Investor's going to take and then produce something with it.
Yeah, no, it's true. You know, it's crazy. All right, so this is
like a Tamagotchi.
It is a Tamagotchi. It is a Tamagotchi.
Like a gigapet and shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is a Digimon Tamagotchi. The original, so before Digimon, so you know, the background, right? So before Digimon, the anime came out, there's a Tamagotchi. And it was the very me and the homie Cyrus used to have one, and his brother, and we used to like right here at the top, see that silver part?
Yeah.
You could connect it because you would be able to train them and fight each other with it. So in my head, I'm like playing it. I wanted a Tamagotchi again for whatever reason. So me and Dominic have one, and we've been like training our guy, and we're like, oh, let's train him up so we could battle each other. And he's like, I don't want to fight you, Dad. I was like, well, this is. I was like, I don't care, man. We're gonna fight. We're gonna battle, whatever. This is what they are, like. And then, but I'm playing it. I'm like, man, I'm finding things that I would want to make something like this, and like trying to like, oh, this would be dope if it was multiple different ways to do attributes of like punching and kicking and that kind of thing, right? And all these different ways so that it's personalized to you. Oh, that'd be sick if you can if they had tournaments for it and shit, we could go to and meet people and just like you have your very own like
Follow that, man.
nobody's own one is the same, right? That you're training up, and then you
Follow
can
that
hook it up to
feeling.
the internet. Yeah, man.
It's not there for no reason.
But that's the thing too. That's what I'm talking about. The producer's mindset. That shit happens to me all the time with everything that happens to me. With everything that I do, shit like that pops into my head. Like, oh, I want to make a fucking board game. Oh shit, I gotta add this shit to my board game. Like, and I mean, I haven't finished my board game really in a while. I just have to. I need to start being a little bitch and just get that shit out. But yeah, that kind of stuff. It's crazy. You can't talk to most people about that. They're just like,
exactly. So you got nothing to feed off of.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do you think, right? Like, and I hate that. I need the interaction. Like, I want to create something with this person that I'm talking with. You know, and I want to create this. Not that I want to create like a product or anything. I want to create like an environment where I can easily talk to somebody about creating.
Yes,
and it's
an environment where I can easily talk to somebody about creating, because watching Netflix is not creating. Like all that shit, like that. I think that's the core of it right there. I was in a room, and they had other shit that he created in, and that's why I took interest. I'm like, okay, when they start talking about the Dungeons and Dragons shit, like that ain't my shit. But
that's creation.
I liked how they was talking about it though, because this is something y'all passionate about. Like I love they got Discord and all this shit. And I'm like, nigga, y'all sound like us, but for other shit, you know. But the other like part of the talk, I don't fuck with. Like, all right, when the politics part came, I'm like, nah. Politics part. Motherfuckers start talking about the shot. I don't want to get in that talk either. Like, come on, man. Like, cause you know, I don't push my thoughts on nobody else. But at the same time, while I don't push my thoughts on nobody else, I definitely don't want motherfuckers trying to push their thoughts off on me, my nigga. Because I don't push my thoughts on nobody else. Just let's all just, hey, everybody's whatever they want to, and hey, that's it. Because we ain't finna solve nothing right here, my nigga. Like, but yeah, man, being able to talk to creators, man, and that's the whole main thing. Is like when I be running into motherfuckers, you know, of the opposite sex that understands what it's like to be a creative, it's like, all right, boom, you got one barrier out the way. Because it's like, why be in a relationship? This is my thing, how you said it earlier. It was like, imagine being with a girl that wants to hold you back. Like when I got the commercial, she was mad. Imagine getting the Best Buy commercial and she's mad. I'm like, why does it feel like you hating? Because all these things are happening for you and nothing's happening for me. And I'm like, bitch.
Yeah.
You my girl. If it's happening for me, it's happening for you. When I got you your job, I was happy for you. That wasn't my job. The fuck? And so, yeah, man, it just, woof.
Maybe it goes back to what your mom's was saying. You don't think that kind of thing can happen to you because it seems like it's out of reach. This is shit that you see on TV. Literally, that's the shit that you see on TV.
Oh,
right?
Fuck, right?
Yeah.
Literally, the shit you see on TV. And that's your dude now.
Exactly, right? So how does it feel in comparison? Do you feel inadequate, right? So I guess I understand that. Being being the artist, trying to with a regular like job and doing this like music compared to like somebody who's like the breadwinner. Like everything's happened for, like Shanae, everything's happening for her. And I do feel a little bit like, man, I wish that was me kind of thing. But I mean, I'm not going to go to the extent where like, I don't want to root for her or anything like that. Cause like we both chose this kind of thing.
Come on.
So
thank you.
I'm just upset that I want to be able to do something because I want to create. I want to be able to help. There's nothing wrong with being wanting to help.
No.
But I see where she's coming from. I see where she came from with that. Like, but still, like to have an open mind about, your partner. You know what I mean?
Root for me, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
You think this is? I'm rooting for you. So if there's a chance to root for me with all the bullshit I've been through, my nigga, and you gonna choose this time to say, well, nothing's happening for me, nigga. This ain't talking about you, nigga. This is the time to root for me, nigga.
Exactly.
I just hooked you up with a state job, my nigga. You ain't working at Macy's. You ain't working at the bank. Like, nigga, you getting paid.
Job.
You getting paid because my mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? That girl, every girl I get with always ends up being way better than it was. Because this girl didn't drive. I taught her how to drive at that, the first theater. That's the first date I took her right there. And then I was like, how come you don't So my parents never taught me. She was older than me. And I'm like, fuck that. My mama never taught me. We're going to teach you right now. And so we sat there in my mama's Benz, driving around the Vallarta and all that shit. Nigga, the tire place. Nigga, I taught her how to drive right there, nigga. And then we went and bought her first car. Like, we did all kind of shit because I help. I can't help but help. I can't help but help.
Yeah, you want to be. Yeah.
If that's your girl, why wouldn't you want to fucking, like, if you see her parents is stifling her and you know how to help, why would you close up your help?
Yeah, like, we should just keep you down. That's better for you. Like, nah, that's not the play. That doesn't make any sense at all. That don't make any sense at all. But hey, man. Hey, what time we got right now?
Man, a good ass time. We in here. We went in. That shit went fast and felt like 2 hours.
Like the old days. Like the old days.
I know. Fuck. I had a lot to say.
Yeah, we did, man. There's a lot of good stuff, man. No, I knew it was going to be a longer episode because of the skydiving thing. I did want to hear everything you had to say. It helped me a lot. Listen to you talking about that. Yeah, like I said before, like I want what you went through, and sometimes listening to somebody who's gone through it is enough. So, I mean, that's how I think I played most of my inspirations. Most of the time, like throughout my life, was I had a bunch of different friends that were that gone through a bunch of different things that were close to me. So I just sit there and listen and then learned from that. Because I want that. I want that. The thing that I'm struggling with is having faith, being able. That's the thing I'm struggling with right now. So, and because it's hard, like with the music thing, it's hard to have faith in that because you don't know when the paycheck's going to come. If there's a paycheck going to come, right? Like what's the name? Will.i.am said, right? He was like,
I'm already doing it though. I'm just not getting paid yet.
I'm just not getting paid yet. Exactly. But when are you going to get paid yet? And they're like, you shouldn't expect the paycheck and all this stuff. You know, you hear all these people say that. I'm like, well, I kind of want a paycheck. I kind of want to get paid for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing I'm struggling with is faith. And then now that my faith is hindered in this, it touches everything else in my life that I have to deal with faith. So I'm trying to freaking get that situated so that I can be a man and be like, I'm a fucking man. Then you gonna yell at me, I'm gonna fucking yell at you, that kind of shit.
Yeah. You already do that because remember the other day at the you have to deny him service or some shit.
Yeah. Hey, little steps at a time, man. Fuck these guys, man. Fuck those damn customers, bro.
Yeah, trying to yell and shit. Fuck that. You don't deserve that shit. You a man,
don't
homie.
Cards at me.
Yeah, you a man, and you don't accept that disrespect. Fuck that. Nah, pimp.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because I'm a service worker, it doesn't mean that no right to do that shit to me. Like I'm helping you out. I'll throw pills at your face right now. So you want your fucking meds here? Boom. Like, yeah, you like that shit?
Fact.
Dog, like is that how you want to treat people?
Thank you. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Treat people with respect.
That's what. Yeah, man. But all in all, like it's just that's what I'm working on. If I were to work on something this week, it's to work on my faith. Because this is hard, man. It is hard. It's hard to do this kind of thing and on top of that, not knowing where to go. You know what I mean? We have to scout because we don't have that mentor yet. And that's hard. So you imagine not having faith and you have to scout. You're going to want to just stay in your shit.
Yeah, because like at least I know this. But have you read the book called
At least
Who
I know
Moved My
this.
Cheese?
No, but it sounds funny to me though.
Yeah, you should get it, dude.
Who moved my cheese?
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. This book is great. The reason why it's great, like this is a book that you should read like once a year. It's
Who Moved My Cheese? And it says kids, a kid's book?
Nigga, it should be.
Who
Moved My Cheese?
It says Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah. I forgot the two names.
Spencer Johnson?
Yep, that's it.
Spencer Johnson?
Spencer Johnson. That's it. It's a dope book.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. That book is dope as fuck. You should read it.
It says Christian. Spencer and Christian Johnson.
There you go. Spencer Johnson, man. That shit is good as fuck. And the reason why it's good is because it's a book about change. it's a book about. Like when we just talked about right now, like at least I know this. There's a reference of that in there, and that's a perspective on things. But when you read the whole book, you get all the perspectives. So then you know the cheese is the prize, but the prize always moves. But if you don't move, you'll never get the prize.
Because the cheese moves. But doesn't the cheese sometimes move in the area where you're at? But that's for a lucky few, though, huh?
Feel me? But there's many more gems in the book that it has the analogy with cheese. But the reason why I say it is that, like, that's, you know, instead of like saying, oh man, read the Timberland book and shit like that, shit that's gonna take you a while. That's a book that's in a day, like maybe an hour hour read kind of shit. It's like, oh, I got the book today, I read it today, I got the knowledge today, and I'm doing different shit today kind of shit.
It's a kid's book. It looked like it's 10, 20 pages.
Yeah, dude, but worth every fucking word. That's the best part. Because they don't have to have a lot of words to get the point across. But if you know what the words are saying, you can get all the points and then apply it to your life. Because I apply that to my life like a motherfucker. Because real shit, the more we don't want shit to stay the same, the more we realize that change is the constant in our life. We never gonna be fucking 30 years old for the rest of our life. We're never gonna be 18 for the rest of our life. We're always gonna go from 18 to 19 to like, you know what I mean? And every year shit changes, new shit, new this, that, blah, blah. But that book helps you keep a clear sight on what you're working towards and how the things that you're working towards creates the strength for the legs for your faith. Like you give your faith walking legs to go and bring back what you got faith in. You know what I'm saying? Who moved my cheese?
Who moved my cheese? Damn. All right. $16. $15.89 on Prime.
Especially
Soonest
get
tomorrow.
that shit to Dominic too, nigga.
I'll make him read that every week.
Too easy. Because you're gonna give him that. Oh man, it's like you're giving him like Game Genie. You like Game Genie in his brain at a young age. Because it's like, man, they be like, dang, Dominic, he wise behind your ears. I'm like, yeah, I got it from my dad. And that's just gonna be dope to say. You know what I'm saying? Active fathers get respect, man. I appreciate every active father, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you, bro, for giving me Who Moved My Cheese. I'm about to just buy this shit right now, man.
Get it in, man.
Because why not?
Life. It's your life, man. It's one of them. That's what my mom said. She said, you only got one life to live, right? And I guess, according to your faith, be it unto you. Because I ain't got the faith to do it.
Yeah, you know.
That's funny.
Man, because I just don't want to be that person to be like, nah, like, I just want to be that person that has solid faith. I know you get shooken every once in a while, but I want to have that, you know, that fucking foundation, man. Everything that I've learned ever everything that I've learned, I always want to know the foundation of it. Or always have the foundation, I should say. Because if you don't have the foundation, you don't know what you're doing.
Right. You need the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you got to learn to crawl before you walk, right? I guess you can walk first, but what if you need to get under some shit? You don't know how to crawl.
Dude, 36 Chambers is a perfect analogy of not skipping steps. Seen that movie? Shaolin? 36
the Shaolin one? I've only seen parts of it. I've never seen the whole movie.
Yeah, watch the whole movie, especially when there's a wrist fucking part. Oh my God, that shit. It's ridiculous. But it's great. Like, maybe that's why I speak in analogies, but I like how different aspects of life when you're acquiring skill apply to other avenues of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that 36 Chambers one is like, just like how I want to skip, man. I want to skip to where I just know how to play repertoire. I know how to read music already. And I could just go bust out some shit, just, you know? But I know I got to sit my ass at the damn piano every single fucking day and play Dice Pineapples and fucking boot up and all this shit until I get it down. Until I could be like, nigga, at least I got these down. And then I'm just going to keep branching out because it got to go one step at a time. I wish I can go like, I learned this track today and now I can play it flawless. And even when I watched the fucking homegirl, the classical homegirl that's 20 years in the game, like you can go on her Twitch stream and you can say or email her and say, "Hey, can you play this song?" and send in the sheet music, and it'll be a song she never heard. And she's like, "Okay." Put the shit up on her iPad. Bling blah 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 blah. Nigga, she never played it, never heard it, but since she knows how to read music and she got 20 years worth of experience on them hands, she can still bust some shit out. And I love being able to do that. I ain't nowhere near that, but I'm gonna get the songs I know how to get down, and then hey, we're just gonna take it from there, man. But the reason why I got strong faith is because of all the shit I've been through. I've been through a lot of shit, and so it's like it's your it's like ankle weights, it's faith weights, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
nigga, I've been through the fucking car accident, been through the motorcycle accident, got fucking spine paralyzed shit, been on TV, went away from TV, came back to TV, got featured, and been on shit as a regular, met Bryan Cranston, all these other niggas. Snoop Dogg called me will.i.am, all kind of fucking weird shit through my life, right? And it's like, really? You really think all this shit is happening so I can just fucking die off an airplane, my nigga? No, my nigga, like, no. All this shit ain't happening for that. All this shit is happening because it's somebody out there who don't got faith. They're gonna be like, damn, that nigga didn't give up. He was suicidal thoughts. He went through this shit. He went through that. And he still didn't give up. And look at him now. Like, you know? And so everybody else gonna not give up too, man, just because of that shit. Or even if one other person, I did my job. But the faith is believing in shit that you don't see. And there's so much things that are dream wise. Like, nigga, I've seen so many dreams come true in my eyes that, like, even my first big song that I made is called Dreams. And all I did was talk about 3 dreams that I had in all 3 verses. And like my cousins and everybody in the family was like, man, this is your song. Like, you did that. And I'm like, I didn't really like it because of my flow style and all that. But they was tripping off of how animated I was because I'm describing the dreams. And you can see it based off of my descriptions off the way I'm rapping. Not knowing that that's a talent that I got, right? But just fucking
Man,
shit. But just be clear on what you want, man. The main thing I didn't get the point in was the reason why somebody said it was like, oh, if you want a mentor, pay him. It's like, man, hey, I know that's how it is, but if you really want somebody to be serious,
give
you
him
pay
money.
him. And he was like, nah, you may not have to always pay him. Like, you may end up being cool with him. And they're like, man, nah, man, hold your money, man. Because then they got a reverence for you. Like, nah, dude, like, I care about you now. Like, and I see you really serious about this shit. Because that's the main reason why motherfuckers don't want to do it. Because the people who mentor, they don't want to mentor anybody because they know that only 5% of niggas is actually going to follow through with shit. So why the fuck do I need to be wasting my time if y'all niggas ain't even going to do this shit? Right? But if you paying them, then they feel like they ain't wasting time because at least they getting paid. And then they're going to give you what it's worth on the money shit. So I feel that's the next mission for you, brother. You need somebody who's a mile ahead, somebody who's slanging beats, somebody who's proven that they are doing what you want to do.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah. All good. To our Spotify listeners, we're going to make sure that I upload these motherfucking episodes because I know y'all been starving for like 3 episodes. I think I'm 3 episodes behind on the Spotify uploads. But yeah, man, we went in on this episode, man. I really do love that skydiving shit. I'm really gonna put up like 5 videos representing that shit because I always want to remember it. I always want to remember what I felt like. Like 3/13/21, March 13/21. It was 13,000 feet in the fucking sky, and we jumped out of a fucking plane with a nigga strapped to my back. Fell out the sky free fall for like a cool 10, 11 seconds until the fucking parachute came out. And the parachute came out, and then a nigga let me glide the fucking parachute. Nigga did a 360 turn in the brakes, nigga. This shit is crazy. Some of the shit I can't believe, man. But we fucking jumped out of that fucking plane. We changed some lives. We impact motherfuckers like we always do. We try to leave an impact. We try to leave an impact. We shot our shot this week. That was funny. I don't think funny is the word, but like, it's something. Something. It's something. Ojalá que Ojalá que.
My bad. I think it was Ice Maker or something like that. I was like, what the hell is somebody up? Now what you were saying is good. I was listening to you, but
what you talking about?
no, earlier before I left, I was just like, oh shoot, because that shit caught me off guard. But no, I really appreciate all that. Yeah, finding that mentor. I was this dude I follow, Gummy Beats, but he had. I was looking at his TV and film placements. So if the cheese is gonna be moving, it might be in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Already making references. Don't even know the shit yet, but that correlates for real.
So I might have to go there. Well, I've been thinking about it for a while too. Like, because why not? You know, like it'd be cool to be doing some stuff for TV and film. I don't know if I could use splice samples with it, but you should be able to, right? Because those artists still can be paid for the samples that's been used.
The shit is royalty free. But when I was watching Clint, he was like, man, I don't use splice. He was like, because I just don't want nothing. I don't want to run into anything, you know?
Yeah. But it's on splice, so you know, it's supposed to be royalty free.
Yeah. But he's saying like if he submits for something and then he used some splice, and then another deep producer submitting shit, and he's submitting shit from splice, and then they get the sounds, and they're like, well, his shit sounds like this, and he's using these sounds, and his shit sounds like this, and he's using these sounds, but the sounds are similar, so who does the copyright own to? It's like, but they only got their own copyright because they're using royalty-free sounds. It's like, he just does it to eliminate any possibility of confusion. But I'm sure that you can still do it because it's royalty-free. Just like how on that damn Producer Grind video thing I just seen on Instagram where he said, Leno went in on this. He was like, and remember, all this stuff is royalty-free, so put this stuff in the beats, put it on your beat stars. We're not going to come knocking on your door. And I'm like, yeah, that's what royalty-free is. So
that's the chance that they take when they make these things. Because that's what I was watching an interview with Illmind before, and he was like, "You really want to do like loops and stuff?" Or he's like, "Or you want to sell a beat for 500, but then you don't get your royalties?" He's like, that's the give and take for selling beats, like at different like at a high volume, because you don't know which one's going to take and like just run off with it. So that's your gamble. Like you can make like whatever ends meet, whatever you can here. But if you like, he was talking about being a beat maker versus being a producer and producing somebody that you can, you know, over time develop. Yeah.
And create your sound with and shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, I guess you're right. But I'm his course is like $50. I'd messaged him before. I had a question on something he said. I forgot what it was, but he got back to me immediately. So I was like, oh, crazy. That's how I know I could trust to purchase something from him.
Go, yeah.
I never messaged Clint. You said you messaged him?
I messaged Clint. Clint got at me the next day or 2 days later, but he did get back at me.
He got back to you? Okay.
He got back at me. So Clint's a real one. We always gonna put that as that, you know?
I just want to make sure, yeah.
But yeah, Clint did respond. It was either the next day or 2 days later, and he did answer the questions because remember that SME media group hit me out of nowhere saying, "Hey, nigga, blah blah blah." But then that $25 shit, he's like, "Nah, I ain't never heard of him." And I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his course is $97, and like I had seen some shit that said like, "Oh, DM me about an extreme discount." I'm like, hey, Mr. Clint, I seen something that said ask you about an extreme discount, and then by the way, I got an email from these people. Have you heard of them? Pop. So he looked at this shit and he was like, oh yeah, there's the link for the shit. Just do this and this, and then you get the discount. I'm like, oh, for sure. And then he's like, as far as these people, like, nah, I never heard of them. I'm like, all right, for sure. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna buy this shit today, like, because I'm a man of my word, like, you know what I mean. And so, boom, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy it today. Thanks for the help. So boom, I went and bought the shit. Then I made that post, nigga. Cause like, I don't know, man. Like, I like big up in this, you know? Like, I don't have to put that I was putting the slappy drums from Stolen Drums on my shit, but now it's forever advertisement on my shit for him. Like, but it's putting niggas up on game. Cause it is good sounds in that damn kit. And it's helping another motherfucker out. this whole Clint situation. Anybody trying to do TV and film shit? Good information in there. Like, I want to just, since I know a lot of people don't do, I put the shit out for the doers. If you do like I do, then you're going to appreciate this info because you're going to take it and run with it. Versus the people who don't do, they just take it and they just consume it.
They just consume it. You know it, but yeah, you're not going to do anything about it. And I like this. I love this podcast for the reasons of that we do what we say. Because during the this journey of each podcast, we always have something vulnerable to say about ourselves, and that's the foundation that helps us stick to our words to when we say at the end of the show what we're gonna do for that week. So anybody who wants to be a part of this, please.
Anybody.
Message
we want
us.
y'all to get vulnerable on here too. You might make me cry. Depending on your shit.
Yeah, man.
I think that's what I'm gonna do when I get back to my mom's crib. Though, is like I want to reevaluate how I can get the micro content popping because I feel it's gonna do so much more besides just hitting home points for us, but like building up our authority, but then giving the incentive for the people who on the show know oh yeah, the clip's gonna get on there and shit. Because like Chris got the shit and Machete got the shit, but I never seen them put out clips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like obviously
they want to.
They want to.
Yeah.
But it has to happen. You know what I mean? Because everybody that we interviewed on the show has all said dope ass shit that I feel needs to be repeated so other people know that they said it so they can get the gems from it like we got from it.
Yeah.
Because EJ had gems, fucking Chris had gems, Machete had gems, Justin had gems, fucking
Justin had gems.
Macaroni had gems.
Yeah, Macaroni had it.
Yeah,
man. He got that shaking Freddie Gibbs hands and shit. Shout out to A, man.
Shout out to A. And my nigga is consistent, man. Top of the morning, y'all. It blessed me up with I'm like, hey, no problem. Like, and it's funny too, man, because like I followed, went to high school together, so I follow the niggas that like, and I'm like, dang, I wonder who he sends this whole batch of the shit to, like, you know what I mean, like, to do the shit, because you notice like everybody don't do it, and remember how he was saying on the show, like, oh man, everybody don't do it, but like, nigga, just post it, nigga, like, it ain't, it's just a flyer.
It's not hard. It's not hard to just share it.
It's not hard to share it. It's not.
It's literally 2 clicks.
Every time you ask me, I do it. Boom. Click, share, boom. But I can't do it normal because I'm me. You know what I mean? So I got to say some shit. And sometimes I got to put a beat
context.
To it. You know? You know? Context.
Yeah, every time we share something with music, it's always like one of our songs because we get paid for that shit if we fucking share it. So why not put some money into to our homies'
Sunrise,
pockets?
Boom. When I was like, hey, Rucky Fist, with the Rucky Fist, you need to have a record song because I put the motherfucking record.
Yeah. I do, man. I need some hype that's like freaking shit on Spotify. Maybe I should. Beats and Bacon, Sizzle. Not the
pop or whatever, not the low sodium.
Not low sodium. This one's gonna be sizzling.
Man, everything that you fucking. This is why, man, I've been looking at this shit and they be like, oh, it's like the universe sending you signs on where to go if you're on the right path or what other shit. And it's like the thing that fucks me up, right? Because you know how I was crushing on the other girl, but then like the thing is like as that shit developed, you know, you go past the like honeymoon stage in your eyeballs where it's like, oh man, she just like me and shit. Then you see like when the front goes away and like who there really is, you're like, oh shit, she kind of like me in these aspects, but otherwise like she's like her in these aspects. But this one right here is too many fucking synchronicities. You can say a word like you just said, and I'm like, blink, I'm already back. And like this motherfucker was wearing a fucking alien jerky fucking hat on stream for like 2 weeks straight. And like, you know, I see the fucking alien jerky fucking place every time I come home. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nigga, that shit ain't no accident. Ain't no fucking accident, but it could be a coincidence. Whatever, nigga. I'm like, fucking shit.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't give a damn no more.
Dude, and that's my thing. So like, fucking shot the shit and all that shit. And I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. I ain't gonna pay attention. I ain't gonna. But then Instagram's like, hey, nigga, hey nigga, we want to remind you. We want to remind you of somebody. And then Twitter's like, hey nigga. And then I'm just like, nigga, I'm just trying to do my thing. I'm not gonna bother nobody if nobody want to be bothered. I'm gonna give motherfuckers space. But it's like,
hey, what time we at? Because I'm gonna ask you off air.
3
I'm
o'clock.
ask you. We're at 3. We're at 3 hours.
3 hours.
Oh shoot! All right, real quick. What are you about to work on this week? I'm gonna ask you.
On this week.
I want to know what happened. So
all right. This week. What did we just put out? We put out United. That's my fucking Queen Latifah sample. Fucking
You could put that on Spotify? Who cares, huh?
I'm a nobody, man.
Queen Latifah would probably be all right with that.
I'm a nobody.
You know what, Boris? You set it off. That's what she's gonna say to you.
I know you set it off. Let me put a verse on there. Hell yeah, that'd be dope. I'd be like the queens of like the OG queens of rap.
Yeah,
all come unite on this United track.
She tells us a 90s kind of world kind of song.
You feel me? It's a 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my cat. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm talking. Am I right?
Oh man.
Yeah,
don't doubt about it.
Man, I need to make something like that. Cause I got a harmonica. And that's dope. But yeah, so what we're gonna do? I think I've been planning to put out Blessing Energy for like the past 3 weeks, and I still haven't put it out. But I've been trying to put out more upbeat shit, and I still released a lo-fi track. I'm like, I'm gonna put out some upbeat. I'm like, oh, lo-fi it is. Cause dude, man, I got an abundance of them. Might as well start dropping them. Cause then if I really go in on this playlist shit, then like at least get some fucking residual income per month. But yeah, man, I'm either gonna put out Blessing Energy or We Dip. But both of those, like We Dip is my K-Tronada-esque track. Nice. I just want a Grammy. Might pay some homage to him. And it's funny with that shit too, because it's one half of it is like fuck the Grammys, because we know how it's a whole politicking, classism kind of bullshit. But at the same time, it's an accomplishment, and you don't want to hate on niggas that have been working towards shit to get an accomplishment. So you like, nigga, right. I'm happy for you. But at the same time, fuck the Grammys. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm happy that you got recognized at the Grammys, nigga, because your price get to go up, and your price deserves to go up because you've been putting in work for this long, nigga. And you ain't been, this the thing, it's like 1,000 shots. It's the 30 by 30. And these niggas been doing for years. Like, I think to myself, like, I want to make music every day, but I can't. Or I don't. I feel I can, but I don't. I want to make music every day. I got to take I can out, but I don't. Because I like doing all the shit I like to do instead of just.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. You don't want to get burnt out. That burnout is
real as fuck.
It is. Nobody wants to do the same thing every single day. Like, I'm happy if I could do this for the rest of my life. That's bullshit. No, you won't be happy.
Thank you.
Like I've tried it.
Yeah, you ever seen Stepford Wives, nigga? Them niggas did the same shit every day. I'm bringing a pie over to you. No, nigga. Yeah, nah. You got to do different shit, man. The variety of life. That's why I'm glad I got this fucking loop station. I got this mixing and shit. Because even though I can play on the keys every day, I could do different shit on there every day. But I'm not but practicing on the keys is not producing a track. It don't take the same brain power. It's like, oh, I'm working muscle memory right here versus I'm really trying to force shit. I'm creating a world. Every time you create a track, you're creating a world. Man.
Yeah. Sometimes you just make you make a world with the same principles in it. And then that's a boop. That's boop, boop, boop. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But for me, I think, like I said, that's gonna help with my music is gonna be the faith thing. I need to find what I need to find out to make my faith stronger in what I do. That's really, really important. I'll be making beats for sure, at least 3, because I've been doing that every week. I know I didn't get to a chop section, but I would like to get to a chop section this week. What else? I'm gonna play some Apex. For damn sure. But yeah, actually, I hit up my little cousin. Well, she's not really little anymore. She's my younger cousin though. But I hit her up because she does. She's an artist. She's like a
Graphic?
character artist.
Mm.
Yeah, well, a character artist. So I saw some of her stuff that she was doing, and I was like, "Hey, can you make me a 16-bit character of myself holding a beat machine?" Or because I was like, because I want to do it, I want to animate it. And then she was like, "Yeah." So we've been going back and forth on DM, and she's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" Like she was asking me all the questions. So how do you want it? I was like, "What do you want to wear?" And all this stuff. Like she's got any pictures to reference, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And then trying to think about it as always.
Oh, you gave her the Isaiah pick?
Nah, it's different. It's gonna be different than the Isaiah one. I gotta pay Isaiah, man. I feel bad. I haven't paid him yet for the another one that we were supposed to be working on.
Yeah, man. Especially when that stimmy hit, man. You better break them off, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and my cousin, she said she can animate it too.
That's
like
dope.
So I was like a little animation. I was like, hell yeah. And she was giving me I for what I think is like the family discount. I don't want to pay that. I want to give her more money than that. So yeah, that'd be cool. So I want to be like that because it's a visual world. So
did you see the Keith Supreme release, the Stone's Throw?
No.
And Chris reposted it like he know who the animator was.
Oh yeah, I did see that what he posted. I've been seeing a lot of people post that actually. I didn't know what it was though.
Yeah,
I did like the animation for that shit. Oh, her, there she go. Oh, sorry. Look at her.
There she go.
Holding on. Yeah, that's a dope ass.
And it was like it's a dope little scene because you can do that shit just like what your cousin talking about. Just animate that bitch.
Yeah, and you could just put it on one same background, background, and then you just switch the places.
Yeah, dude, and then fucking that's how you can have your lo-fi beats and fucking, you know what I mean? Like how chip hop and all them fucking lo-fi beats be having like the girl studying and all that shit.
Yeah. But then I'm gonna take this for a second. Go first. Shit. Yeah. Because I was looking, because before in the other weeks I was looking for an animated video. I was trying to do that myself, and I'm not that. So I got family that's doing it. So of course I'm gonna support.
Come on,
and I get my shit.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the shit I'm talking about. Because that would have been a family member who would have been at that gathering that you would have been able to talk to about creating shit.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm glad that my family is diverse and stuff in those types of ways.
Yeah, shout out to your brother.
Yeah. Yep.
You should have seen that face. He said, yeah. Yeah. All right, next subject.
All right, you want me? I'll be real right now. My brother, I looked up to him, and I'm just like you. I want to be like him some ways when I was younger. But like you said, there's certain things that I'm good at that he's not good at. Like he didn't have, like he had like one best friend. I had like 10 best friends, bro. Like
Gemini shit.
Yeah. I had lots of friends, dude. And I was able to talk to a lot of people and be likable and kind of that thing. So not to say that he isn't likable. He just he wasn't like that. Like it was weird. Even what's it called? Like even in high school, I wanted to get a free ticket to prom, right? So I told people to vote for me for prom king.
Oh, crazy!
Because I heard that if you get on court, like if you get on the court with all the other nominees or whatever, then you get a free ticket. I was like, oh shoot, let me get on there so I can get a free ticket to go. I'm not trying to pay $250, $300 for a ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I did. I got nominated on this shit. And I remember telling my brother, like, hey, I got nominated for prom king. And he was like, what? He was like, what? What the hell? He was like, for real? He's like, I want a free ticket. Like, I wanted a free ticket. I figured I knew enough people to get on there. And apparently I did. I don't care if I didn't get enough votes or whatever. I was like, I got on that shit. But you know what? I didn't I didn't get the free ticket though. It was bullshit. Yeah. All that for nothing, man.
No, it wasn't for nothing. You know what it proved to you?
What?
It proved. Listen to the premise. I'm just gonna swap out the same story, but I'm gonna swap out subject matter. So you was kind and likable, and a lot of people knew you. Your brother's likable, but not in the same way that you're talking about. So you figured that if you was selling your beats on BeatStars, that you can quit your job. Right? Right? Because you had enough money. If you can sell enough money doing your beats and everything else, then
I would, yeah.
you don't have to pay
if
for
I
it. No, you don't have to pay. You don't have to go to work and pay that price, right? Kind of like paying a prom ticket. You know what I mean? So all you got to do is advertise and ask enough people to support you with your endeavor and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, all they have to do is vote, right? So you got to give people an opportunity to vote for you. That's still going to push you towards your dream. And you can gather enough votes. That's what you proved to yourself with that. You said, hey, you got a goal. I don't want to pay for the shit. All I got to do is make it to court. All I got to do is tell everybody to vote for me. You told everybody to vote for you. You made it on court. They didn't hold up their end of the bargain. But if that was the case, you would have ended up getting it. So you still accomplished what you set out to accomplish. It was just misinformed on what the actual prize was.
True.
In this sense, we know what the prize is. Quit that fucking job. Do what you love. And it's like, okay, so what that mean? It sounded like you were stepping out of your comfort zone. Were you out of your comfort zone asking? You said you knew you can get enough votes. Nigga.
I wasn't out of my comfort zone. To tell you the truth, I was not under my comfort zone. Because I knew these people. But then, like, I didn't know these people just from that day, though. Like, they weren't new people that I knew. They're people that I've known. With. Yeah, I have actual relationships with them. Damn, that's deep.
So
I just thought about that. I was like, I got to create those relationships with these people. So then.
Come on. And then think about ways that you can already use the people you do have relationships with to create something that they can do to help you. Just like how we did with the Joyce Rice shit. You just got to create another campaign that's going to be able to help you directly. Because the Joyce Rice thing is like, all right, cool. What did she do? She liked it and she shared it, gangster. But that ain't quitting the job. What are we going to do to quit the job? And the people that are around you will help you do whatever that thing is that you're going to tell us to do to help you. That's going to help you quit your job.
Yeah. Did have a lot of ideas about selling an album, like a what's it called? Not a GoFundMe, but what is the other? Not a Kickstarter. But like, you know, just like something to put up. Like, oh, I got 100 CDs I want to sell, or 100 albums I want to sell. Help me out if you want to purchase one. It's $10. If you want to donate a little more, you can. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My goal is to get this, so I can buy.
Yeah, and give him the play to play. My goal is to get this, so I can do this and do this. Yep, do all that.
Yeah, if you pay a little more, I'll make you a shirt.
Boom. Come on, man. My cousin who drives trucks went over to my other cousin who with the beat shit and does the major facts and shit. He's like, man, I stopped off at my cousin's crib while I was shutting down on my truck. He said, I went into his lab with him and look, man, he hooked me up with 4 t-shirts, a hoodie with my company logo on it. Like now he got his own, like, cause he owner operator and shit. And I'm like, nigga, that's dope. Like you went to the homie, my cousin, 2 cousins one cousin go to the other cousin crib. And then the gift that my cousin's been working on with the t-shirt shit is able to bless my other cousin with his trucking business shit. Because both of those are businesses, right? My cousin with his t-shirt business, my other cousin with his trucking business, where people are looking at them like, oh, you should get a regular job. You should do the regular. But these niggas is, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's why I bought the damn shirts, nigga. I like supporting people with their creative endeavors because I want to show that it's real. This shit is real, Ed. We just ain't got it yet, but it's real and it's already yours. Time ain't here, but it's already yours. And the further you keep walking, the more it's going to make sense. And just get clear, man. Get clear on what it's going to take. Like, yeah, it's one thing to say, it's one thing to say, it'll be dope to not have to work this job. But it's another thing to say, this is how much I need to be making to where I could comfortably quit this job. Just like how you keep saying, I'm going to feel like a man and blah, blah. You're going to feel like a man when you know that you need to provide this much money And once you provide this much money, that's your green light to say, fuck this job. I ain't gotta throw pills at these motherfuckers and shit, sir. Nigga, don't put your fucking card on it. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to get out the drug game, man. Trying to get out the drug game.
Trying to get out the drug
I'm not.
game.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
You ain't at all, man. For real.
Get this drug game, man.
It's possible, man. It's possible. Like I believe, and that's the thing. Like the track I was listening to on your Instagram story was bopping, man. And I'm like,
you like that shit? Thank you.
Yeah. And when I'm on here, I'm not gassing. I don't feel I'm gassing. Like somebody, remember it was the Curtis King post that he made 2 weeks ago or last week, where he was talking about like, don't believe the hype or whatever. And he was like, yeah, but like people be saying like, I like when my friends hype me up. He's like, I'm not talking about hype like that. Hype is like some shit that ain't as good, but you trying to hype it up to be as good. Versus, nah, hype your homies up. You need homies like that. He's like, nah, you need them. And I'm like, but I don't feel like I be hyping. I feel like I'm spitting real shit. Like I'm a hype person, but when I'm saying
two different hypes. Yeah.
You know?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like when I'm listening to that shit and it was bopping on Instagram and I'm putting flames on it, like I'm really saying, nigga, this is dope. Like I'm not saying, oh, this is better than what it is. No, I'm saying, no, nigga, this is actually dope.
Thank you. That's one of the beats. Yeah, that's one of the beats I had made.
Come on.
The one for last week. I was getting ready to put it, export it out, and either BeatStars or Spotify. Why can't I do both? Right? Should I be able to do both?
I thought about that earlier today too, and I was like, man, I was in the shower and I was like, dang, dude.
Why can't I lease it to myself?
That's what I was thinking. Well, I was like, dude, like, am I combining all my talents? Because like I had made a post. Cameron sent me a picture of his homie Alec, and there was a picture from Workaholics. And he's like, hey, dude, is this your boy that was in the Best Buy commercial? He's like, yeah, man, that's Tim. And then Cameron sent me that shit. And I'm like, dang, like, I forgot. Like, and that was a good time in that show because it was like, he said, Alice, these guys are over here doing drugs. And it was like, Tim, when they say that, like, look over and smile like kind of like you want some.
I seen that. You look like that, you're all. That's the first time I saw you on the show is when you did that shit.
Oh, no.
No, it was what was
it? It had to be the boobs, man. The boob pillow was ridiculous. The boob pillow.
Yeah. Wait, when was that? I don't know. It was when I first moved here to Texas. And I was just at home. I didn't have a job. I was just chilling, right? And I was binge watching freaking Workaholics. And I seen you. I don't know if I remember you saying that you was in there or not, but I seen you. I was like, Tim, like, what the fuck? Do you remember me messaging you with your pictures of you in there?
Maybe.
Do you remember that? I texted you. I think I messaged you on like Insta. I was like, yo, and I freaking took a picture of you
when
on
I was
my
at,
phone.
what's it called? Crib. Old girl's crib.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. Something like that.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And then, I remember you looking back and you just like smiling like that. I was like, this fool trying to get some, trying to get some action, trying to get some playtime right there. Look at that. I was like, hell yeah, man, that's dope.
Ooh, I was high on set a lot. Nigga, I was smoking. I was living in Van Nuys. And so boom. Nigga, it was dope being a regular on that show. I was on a regular on 3 shows. But it was dope because I just wake up, get dressed, smoke. On my way there, boom, I'm high, get my wardrobe.
Were they cool?
Everything
like
I wore was my shit.
Like the main dudes, they were cool and stuff? Like
like Jers and all them.
Yeah.
They was cool, but they was still like
running the show kind of people.
Yeah, like
because they were, I mean, but yeah, you know.
They cool with who they cool with, you know what I mean? Because they came up together, like Blake, Durs, and fucking Adam. 2 of them was from NorCal, and they both was like in the Upright Citizens Brigade, like improv group. And then another one is like a childhood homie. And so the childhood homie and one of them was always cool, and they both went to go join the acting shit. And then they met the other dude, and that's how they got cool. And then they started making them skits on YouTube, and that's how they got Workaholics.
Oh, okay.
So like you can tell since they all tighten it like that, when they in the thing, they tighten it with everybody who's the crew. But then like all these other niggas, it's like, oh yeah, we cool. Like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Until you're around them long enough to see like what it is. But it's funny because one of the peoples I went to their house before I even met them because with the Magnolia shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy how you do so much work with that.
Ain't that crazy? I'm like, nigga, I've been to this nigga house, but I ain't gonna say, hey nigga, I've been in your house. I know you live in Rob Dyrdek's old house and you got a fucking ET alien right here. And like because I was there, I hooked the speakers up, nigga. Like, but and now I'm on here on the fucking show. And that's the thing that tripped me out is from the motorcycle accident, I binge watched fucking Workaholics in The Office at the time. So it just tripped me out like, dang, dude, years later from 2009, the accident, to 2015, I end up on the show. Like so that's why my faith is strong, because it's like, dude, like how many other things in your life happen like that? Like, nigga, you seen shit on TV and then you're there. You seen shit and then you're there. You see these niggas on TV and then you're there. There was a time where I was postmating one time. And the day before, I'm over there looking at 1500 Sound Academy. Like, oh man, I think I should do it. They're from Inglewood. I'm Inglewood. And at least like pay homage to the niggas that made it out before me, you know? And then I go to Postmate the next night, and it's like 2 a.m. And I go to this place called Cantor's on Fairfax. It's like a deli kind of 24-hour place. And nigga standing right outside of fucking Cantor's with all his jewelry on, his rings and everything. It's fucking James Fauntleroy.
Who's that?
James Fauntleroy is part of the 1500 Sound Academy, who's like a singer-songwriter where he wrote songs for like Rihanna and like all this kind of shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. He has jewelry on. You're like, oh, shit.
Nigga, I'm standing there and I'm like, I was just looking up this shit the day before, nigga. And I sat there, I was like, should I say something to him? And I'm like, I didn't say nothing to him. But well, I was gonna say was, nigga, I was just looking up the Sound Academy, nigga. You from Inglewood? I saw you on Pensado's place, and thank you for representing Inglewood, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? You made it out, nigga. You like, you know, Pensado's place was my shit because Dave Pensado's a good ass mixer. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I started listening to Pensado's place because of you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I didn't know about them before. Even though they're super popular, I wasn't into podcasts and like shows, like YouTube shows, like shit like that. So, yeah, thank you. Because I for sure was watching them. Yeah. He's like, we have an engineer, blah blah blah, and he's just like, oh, he's like, usually when I do hip hop mixes and stuff, I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, oh shit, and because I understand it, I'm just like, oh, it tickles a thing in my brain. I'm just like, oh my god,
got that Jack Nicholson, yeah,
man.
I understand.
Hell yeah,
man. Nah, 3.5, man. We out here. We're gonna get better, man. I know I was feeling the shit with the chop sections, brother, but I wasn't gonna come all in on you like, nigga, you falling off, like, you know what I mean? But I'm glad, like you just said it, like, cause that's you're right. We both do get vulnerable on this shit. And for you to fucking open up, that's some courage, man. It takes some courage to fucking say, like, hey, man, like, I'm not getting discouraged, but the shit is hard, like, nigga, you know, because as a man, I know what you're going through as a man, you know?
Yeah.
Like, of course, your wife's holding you down, and that's dope, and we all like that's much appreciate, much love, but.
A woman's a woman.
That's what I'm saying. And even though we don't want to be susceptible to societal norms, we still have to deal with it, you know? And the way we deal with it is like, all right, my nigga, like, I just got to say to you that you are, man. First and foremost, your income does not define if you're a man or not. Your income does not define if you're a man or not. Your income does not define if you're a man or not. Your income does not define if you're a man or not. Your actions define if you're a man or not.
Actions.
Remember, we was talking about presence. That defines if you're a father or a husband. Your presence is a present. Just your presence means so much. For your son to say, I don't want to fight you, dad. He gets to say that to his dad versus a kid who ain't got no dad, who's never going to say. The kids who ain't got dads want to fight their dad.
literally fight them.
Yeah, you know, it's like they want to fuck you up, nigga. You know what the fuck I had to go through because you didn't shine the light on this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus, I don't want to fight you, dad, because you always look out for me, man. Like, you know what I mean? I know it's coming from more of that space. So, come on. Yeah, man. Your income does not define if you're a man or not, man. Your integrity defines that. Your character, your fucking support for your wife, your support for your kids. And the thing that I realized at BBC, Coach Holloman, Mr. Holloman was my human resource management teacher. He said that in order for him to get his bachelor's degree so he can be a teacher and shit, he took one class per semester.
Damn.
Because they had to watch kids and all that shit. And he said his wife thugged it out with him. And eventually, years later, he got his shit. And he said the wife was making the cake at the time, and now he makes the cake. He said, but his wife held him down. You know what I mean? He talked about that shit all in class. So it's like, I think that's the best. I think that's the best part of it, Ed. Like, that's why I want that companionship so bad, man. Because it's like, that pillow talk like I remember the pillow talk with my ex, and it's like she can provide. She was an artist, right? She painted, but she wasn't an artist that did her art. She'll only do it when she was stressed because she needed to express herself.
Mm.
And it's like when I think about the possibilities with these, with these possibilities, I'd be like, man, I just like being understood. And it's like, I know that. I know when you know that I'm talking to you that you feel understood because I feel the energy off of you that I know you feel understood. You finally feel like, dang, this motherfucker get me. But it's so scary because you ain't never dealt with that before. So it's like, what the fuck should I do? Like, but yeah,
Right.
anyway, man, we're gonna keep talking about shit. Fucking 28.
Episode 28.
28, man.
No, I appreciate you, man. Income does not define me as a man.
Income does not find you as a man. Straight up.
Yeah, I had to ask my lady. I was like, I need to know what you need from me, and she was just like, what you were saying about the actions. She's just like, be about your actions, kind of thing. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I know what I need to do. Like, I know well, at least I know she gave me definitive answers, kind of thing, right? So at least I know now, like, because she don't really speak up about that kind of thing. So I made her
And
speak
that's
up
what I'm
about it.
saying. I'm glad you gave her the floor to do so.
Yeah. I was like, look, I need to know. Like, you need, like, give me that. It'll give me a push for sure. And now what she said stuck me here and right here now. So I'm just like, oh, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to try to find it, like the understanding of it. So I was going back and forth about like schooling and stuff, right? Like going back to school and trying to find something to do that would help me be stable. But I kind of don't want to do that. Like, like I don't want to do it, but because I'd be like, I'm giving up. I tell her, like, I want to do this, right? Like, if I wasn't doing music, what would I do? Like, and then I was like, but I want to, like, music is like, sometimes I don't want to do it because I'd be feeling like these types of ways about it. And I have no direction. I always tell her that. I was like, there's no direction. Like, you go to school, you get a degree, there's direction. You have these tests that tell you that you're doing good. And then the tests tell you if you pass and you get your degree. You get your degree, and then like if it's health, like if it's in healthcare, like if you go and you do your clinicals, and then you have a job, or you're gonna get a job because they might hire you there, or there's always a need of somebody in the healthcare business. Whereas in the music, you're just like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, I don't know where it is. Like, you have an idea, but like, there's no mentorship. There's no test. There is no, like, the only test is if to see if you can endure the shit, that which I'm finding out now. Right. So, so yeah, there's that. And then once you make it, you don't really make it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's still another
layer,
there's the other layer. Yeah. Another way to find it. And you're like, you're saying with the cheese, the goals keep going to different places and you have to find it there. That's crazy. See, and I didn't know if I'm ready to do that. If I think like for myself, if I'm not capable, I know I'm capable, but if I'm like mentally like strong for that kind of thing.
Man, ooh, and this is where she be giving all kind of gems. But she said this shit, and I was like, "You motherfucker, you dirty rat, you killed my father." Fucking, she had said, "Fuck, what did you just say?"
Oh, cheese.
Nah,
Let's go. Let's
the
go.
thing
One.
that you just said 3 seconds ago.
Oh,
Is the last thing you just said. Oh, mentally strong. She said, if you go into this music shit and you're not sure of yourself, this shit can fuck you up. It's gonna test your mental strength. And I was looking at her like, oh girl, shut up. But it's like it's real.
Don't say another damn word.
Don't say another damn word over there turning me on with your intellect, girl. What the fuck? Because once again, it's like being understood, man. Like when you with somebody for 7 years, you like they understand you for certain shit, but you want to be understood, my nigga. Like,
yes,
you want to be understood. So,
yeah, you know what you did. Yeah, they know what you do, and they know what you like, but to be understood is something else. Yeah, we were talking about that. That's crazy. Yeah, we had a good talk one night or the other night last week, and we were just talking about everything, insecurities and all that stuff. How hard it is to be out here for me, you know. and not being able to do a lot of things because I have to, just responsibilities and all that, and my like my insecurities about people watching my kids. Like I don't want to put them
Yeah.
into like
Yeah.
So we were talking about. I was like, oh, they can go to daycare. I was like, it's COVID. Like I want them to be like okay. And she's like, no, they'll be fine. Like they'll be fine. Like then I just finally agreed to. I was like, all right, like in the next coming whatever, probably do something like that. So it'll free up my time more. And it just made me realize that she cares about me having my own time so that I can be able to do something. But then and I'm just like holding myself back because I don't want to have my kids and stuff. Like I want to take care of them. But then it's not me. Like I feel like if I did that, I'd be selfish about it. But it's not. And it took me a long time to realize that shit. I was like, well, I'm listening now. Like to do that because it'll help me be better mentally in a better mentally safe space, I should say too, because you don't want to I'll be able to work. I'll be able to work on things. I'll be able to actually focus on the shit. So that was good. Yeah. Shit she said to me. Yeah.
I'm glad, man. Thank you for talking about that on here too. You know what I mean? So anybody that watches this in the future, you know what I'm saying? Like you realize how important it is to talk to your spouse about what the fuck. Like, oh man, I've been looking up all this shit because of these fucking synchronicities with this other shit. And it's like the key, what they said that stood out to me today when they said, when you're free to be your real self with them, when you could be your weird self, you could just be you. Like, you know what I mean? And obviously you wouldn't have married her if you couldn't do that. And so it's dope for you to talk about situations where you're feeling not yourself, not as good, not as confident, like, and you're looking for that as you're searching. You ain't this the as you're searching, dudes don't open up about their feelings in general. So in an old school marriage, your wife wouldn't even be privy to this kind of knowledge because you'll just be feeling bad as a man on your own and trying to figure out your direction and all this other shit. Yeah, drink or whatever to try to run away from the pain versus being able to include her in it. Then y'all both can walk together in the journey. And that way, you're not alone in it because you had the courage to involve her, Mm-hmm. And that does so much for her too, because like, obviously she knows that you trust her, but then that's just more cement over the top of the shit.
Yeah, it is hard to throw your pride away for that kind of thing. But hey, man, I want to get better.
Only way to do it.
Only way to do it. Get rid of the pride. Hell yeah, man. Well, I guess on that note, man, episode 28, we sharing some shit today.
For real.
Freaking Tim jump out of an airplane.
I did it. Yeah. Fucking shit. I'm gonna put up like 3 more videos of that shit, dude. I gotta show the part where it said, my family don't want me to do it, but I don't give a fuck. Because anybody else is probably holding themselves back because their family don't want them to do shit,
Yeah. And finding faith in yourself so you can do this shit. Do anything.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
You really
finding faith in yourself. Yeah. So finding finding a faith in yourself and just knowing what you need to do to mentally prepare for this shit.
And don't second guess yourself. Just jump.
Yeah. Just fucking jump. Yeah. Tilt your head back. Put your shit on the legs on this corner.
Like a dock in the bay, baby.
Yeah. Like the dock in the bay. And just jump.
Just jump.
Damn. All right, man. I'm NappooBeats.
I'm Boris the Beats, baby.
Episode 28. We appreciate y'all. I'm tired.
Is he really?
Nipples.
Areola.